pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
More Americans can go into more places without a mask. Washington State and Oregon lifting their mandates over the weekend.
Masks are off and business is up.
People were out having fun.
Andrew Johnson works at the Star, a restaurant and bar in Portland. When he was off the clock, he visited some other places in the city's Pearl District.
They were busy and people just enjoying a little freedom.
The general manager of Brick's Tavern says there was a 20% bump in business just this weekend, but the Portland 5 Centers for the Arts still requires ticket holders to mask up and show proof of vaccination. If you're not vaccinated, you must show a negative COVID-19 test taken 72 hours before your event. CJ Papa, Fox News.
France lifting most of its COVID restrictions as of today, even for the unvaccinated. But in China, new lockdowns in an area hit by fast-spreading variant dubbed Stealth Omicron, the biggest outbreak for China since the start of the pandemic. Semi-autonomous Hong Kong, which counts separately, reporting nearly 27,000 new cases in the latest 24-hour period. March Madness may not be nearly as big for office pools this year. Fox's Jared Max.
The American Gaming Association estimates that 45 million people stand to take part in betting on the upcoming men's NCAA basketball tournament. The AGA estimates that $3.1 billion could get wagered on this year's tournament. Information gleaned from a national survey by Morning Consult. The Gaming Association said Americans will make more non-bracket bets this year. With 9 more states than last year in the legalized sports gambling community, people are betting more on individual games and making live bets while games are in action. The AGA expects a 55% increase in non-bracket bets compared to last year.
And more than 3/4 are expected to be bets outside of bracket challenges. Stocks are mixed with a sell-off for the NASDAQ. Right now, the Dow's up 58 points. I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
Here, community comes together and new friendships form. Stories are shared and new chapters written. Activities are limitless and amenities unsurpassed. Here, you'll find thoughtful care and committed attention. Here, you have a voice and are heard. Here, there is beauty. Allegro Richmond Heights, assisted living, memory care. Live beautifully. For a tour, call 314-202-5989 or visit allegroliving.com.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Hi, this is Curtis Barks. I am the owner of Complete Auto Body and Repair, here to tell you about our touchless automotive service. If you're experiencing the constant struggles of having the kids home from school or just want more of that family time where you can listen to them teach you about what they do every day, we provide touchless automotive service, return the vehicle to you clean and ready to go in the comfort of your own home. Check us out online at CompleteAB.com for more information. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
File in a way that fits you and get the refund you deserve, guaranteed. Jackson Hewitt Tax Pros can help you find thousands worth of new tax credits. Schedule an appointment with one of our tax pros and learn more at jacksonhewitt.com.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
Download the Odyssey app to listen to 97.1 FM Talk and find content that moves you. Anytime, anywhere. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk on the go. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock, Riverviews, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not a married sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
There's no denying that Saudi Arabia isn't playing ball with Joe Biden. And you know what? You can say what you want, but this would have never happened to Donald Trump. Never. No one was ever ignoring Donald Trump's calls. Yeah, because if you ignored Donald Trump's calls, you didn't know how he would respond. Maybe he'd send an angry tweet, or maybe he'd just ban your country from everything. You don't know. That's why I bet in these situations, Biden actually wishes that he could hire Trump to step in as President Wildcard. Just keep everyone on their toes. Because if Trump was calling, you best believe the UAE, they'll be racing to pick up the phone. Oh, Mr. Trump, we're here. Hello? Too late, Ahmed. You made me wait 2 rings. We're bombing the UAE and the UFC, just in case.
I mean, besides the obvious, what did Trevor Noah just say? That's a pretty good Donald Trump impression. That is not bad.
I was stunned whenever you sent that to me and I heard it for the first time. I was like, that's the second best one I've heard.
It's fantastic. Where's he been hiding this?
Right?
Not just the Trump impression, but also the common freaking sense. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Monday. Happy Monday after time change nonsense. I, for one, am literally probably the only person who likes the fall, the fall back. I hate the spring forward. It's no bueno. I can't. I'm trying to tell my kids last night that they needed to be in bed by bedtime. They're like, Mom, we're not tired. And I'm like, I get it. You will be in the morning. Go to bed. But here we are.
Yeah, I can't stand it. I enjoy the extra hour of daylight. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to take me this whole week to regulate, and it's just going to be awful until then.
Vicky on Facebook says it threw my sleep off last night, but I like it getting darker later. Same, but I only appreciate that when I can stay at the pool longer, and it is not quite yet pool weather. So in due time. Gary on YouTube, the Annie Frey YouTube channel, says 1 hour give or take is no big deal. And Jackie on Facebook says, I'm loving the sunshine. Yeah, I'm more of a fan of the weather today than I am of the time. The weather makes it a little bit easier if it were cloudy and gloomy all day. Ugh. So anyway, Trevor Noah, when Trevor Noah says this out loud, all I can ever think of is, how long have you been thinking this? You know what I'm saying, Brad?
Yeah.
If you've made the decision to come out and say that the world does not fear or respect the United States of America, and maybe, I know he's saying this in jest, but in jest because there's an element of truth to it, that if there was a chance that a foreign country might have to deal with Donald Trump, like when they pull the wild card, that would make the world great again because of the American place within it. Where has this been?
Right? It's like, and I said right, didn't I?
Yeah, but I didn't say it. It's a little different.
It's different.
If after everything I said, I go, right, man, you should punch me in the face. You give great time to stream on the Annie Frey YouTube channel because Brad has my permission to the entire bi-state region to punch me in the face if I start saying right
I'm
after
not
everything.
going to do that.
Yeah, well, I told you you could. We'll get Wiggins to do it. He will totally do it.
But it's like, it's so interesting to me to see where the different lines are for these different late night comedians. And Trevor Noah's one that I thought his line would still be a little bit farther down the road, but we're across his line if he's saying this stuff out loud.
Man, I don't like the constant referential Trump line where everything that's going on in the world has to do with what is Trump on? Where's Trump at on this? Not just from like pro-Trump people, but mostly from anti-Trump people. Trevor Noah doesn't strike me as a pro-Trump person. I think it would be a mistake right now to assume that he is a pro-Trump person. I don't think what he said there is like a ringing endorsement of everything Donald Trump did to make America great again. We need to make America great again. I don't think that's what he's saying, but he's admitting something that a lot of people in front of cameras and behind microphones that aren't in the line of work that I'm in here are starting to kind of lean into, which is Joe Biden is doing a terrible job. And I don't, we've talked before about tweets and stuff. Like you start writing a tweet, you're like, oh, this is a really good one. You get halfway through and you're like, I don't know if this is a really good one. As soon as I get to that point, I delete. And a lot of times it has to do with criticizing the president of the United States because I don't want him to fail. The stakes are way too high right now. Around the world, yes. At home, yes. It would be a mistake to look at the current climate. For instance, here I sit. I'm a talk show host. I do this for a living. I spend my time looking into how the world is managing itself and how, while the world is managing itself, people are trying to manage the world within itself for their own personal good, for the most part. I have a political lean. I'm conservative. I'm unapologetically conservative, but that's who I am. That's where I come from. And I have the different things that go into why I have the worldview that I have. And I know that your perspective is formulated from things that have gone, circumstances that have gone into your life to create your worldview, and they're different places. We come from different places. A lot of us here meet at the same simple location where we check a box on a ballot, but a lot of us don't. Meanwhile, everybody who's listening to the show right now, regardless of where you fall in any political spectrum, can tell that what's going on in the world is scary, scary stuff. And even worse, take all of that away. Take Russia invading Ukraine, take Russia going to China for help, militarily aid, and also financial assistance in their invasion of Ukraine and Lord knows what else. Iran bombing some abandoned U.S. facility in the midst of trying to negotiate some sort of nuclear deal with us while we are using Russia as the middleman. North Korea firing missiles off willy-nilly over there to make sure that the world doesn't forget that they exist. Let's take all of that stuff in that big basket of laundry and set it aside. That's what we all do with our laundry, isn't it? That's what we do with our laundry. Is that what you guys do with your laundry? Do you do your own laundry, Brad?
I do not do the laundry at our house.
You don't cook?
Nope.
You don't do laundry?
Nope.
What do you do?
I change the oil.
That's
I mow the grass.
That's good.
I repair the broken stuff.
That's
I
good.
replace the dishwashers.
How many do you have?
Just
one
Two.
now.
Two.
You have two?
I have two dishwashers. One machine, and then my wife washes the other dishes that can't be washed.
Did
in
you
the
just
dishwasher.
call your wife the dishwasher?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Brad Range, everybody. But Terry would be okay with that.
Yeah.
And if she's okay with that, then you don't get to be mad about it. Did you hear that, folks? If Terry's okay.
Yeah. Because I'm the lawn care guy, so
You're the lawnmower. She's
Mhm.
the dishwasher.
Yep.
You did just refer to your wife as the second dishwasher.
I didn't say which one she was.
I think it's very important to reiterate right here that if Brad refers to his wife as a dishwasher and she doesn't care or thinks it's funny, you need to get over it if that bothers you. We need to get back to that. Regardless, everything that's going on in the world, like I said, put it in the laundry basket that sits in the corner until it gets wrinkly and you have to wash it again. I know nothing. I know nothing about that. My husband does laundry, honestly. I don't. Man, we're kind of useless. We have great significant others. you look at what's going on the home front, and it is a proverbial, I'm trying to think of like the most appropriate way to say this, crap show. It's not funny, but it is when you can't figure out the best way to say it without offending the FCC. It's a huge, huge, huge mess here at home. Do I care about the Ukrainian people? Oh my gosh, I almost have to. And this is like an investing in an ignorance is bliss philosophy, which I don't really have the luxury of doing. But you can sit and watch Ukrainian coverage 24 hours a day, and with every passing minute, you feel more and more helpless, don't you? I have my limits, because while what's going on in Ukraine it turns my stomach, I still have to live my life here in this country, and I have to care about what's going on here. And I look around, and there's not much positivity existing in the direction this country is heading. And going back to Trevor Noah in the beginning, he knows it. The people who watch him, they know it. Everybody is aware who's in charge right now. And I'm not just talking about Joe Biden. This is not a Joe Biden mess. It's bigger than that. It's scarier than that, because, if Donald Trump got us into a mess, you best know that Donald Trump was the leader, charged right into that mess and made it what it was. It's just that he didn't really have this problem. We didn't find ourselves in this type of a situation. And you can take it from Trump. Trump just said it maybe on Hannity or whatever, that he knows that Putin said that he wouldn't invade when Trump was in office. I don't know what Trump told him that made him go, yeah, I'm not screwing with you. But it took, 2 sips of coffee and a cigarette for Vladimir Putin to try to invade Ukraine when Joe Biden took over. That was something. The timing of that can't be ignored. It's so obvious that people, the likes of Trevor Noah, can't ignore it. And in the meantime, while I'm not gonna belittle it by calling it a distraction, because it deserves the attention of the American people, because we need to know what is going on, because in the event that the American men and women in our military have to get involved, we need to know damn well what we are doing over there. And it is very, very hard to parse what you see on the internet, truth versus propaganda. It's very difficult for the American people, for the global community, to figure out what can be believed and what can't. We're all skeptics. Aside from all of that, here at home, we are seeing the middle class of America shrink and shrink and shrink, because they're making it unaffordable to be middle class in America. That is policy based. That is not Ukraine, Russia based. That is purposefully designed this way by the policies of the people who told you what they were going to do if they got elected. Shouldn't come as a surprise. When Barack Obama said in the 2008 presidential race that he wanted to fundamentally transform the United States of America, and his idea that he sold to people was a very immeasurable hope and change. We're here. It's changed, and it sucks. The American people know that. They don't like it, and they're questioning, where did this come from? And I do not believe that the majority of voting America is going to be so easily convinced by a very non-convincing President Biden that this is Vladimir Putin's fault. The American people are smarter than that. And I'll tell you this even further. The American people are what makes America great. It's no president, it's no man, no woman who gets elected to any office in any, time of peace or time of war that comes in and makes this country great. What makes the country great has always been you. It's always been her people. Big government comes in and says, you know what we can do to make this country better? We can make government better for you. We're going to have to make it bigger, but we can do this for you. That's what the left sold. And I think many, many people in the United States of America have buyer's remorse. Trevor Noah does. That slight admission that he made regarding how different the world would be if Trump were in charge right now. It's not an endorsement of his policies. I don't think it's a fist in the air, yay, Trump statement, but I think it's a crap. This President Biden thing is not working out. When we come back, we're going to speak with Representative Vicki Hartzler, Congresswoman for Missouri's 4th District. She's also a senior member of the House Armed Services Republicans and House Agriculture Republicans, and we're going to talk to her about America's position in this global conflict in just a minute. Vicki Hartzler, when we return. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. Shows that make a difference. Mark Cox, Brian Kilmeade, Annie Frey, Mark Reardon and Dana Lash, Heidi Harris, Wiggins America. Where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk.
This is Wiggins for Andrea's Steak Sauce. It's been made right here in St. Louis since 1978. Locally made, internationally famous. And if you've never had a bottle, now's the time to try it because it is very, very versatile. And maybe you have tried it, but you got it in your fridge. You haven't used it for a while because you're thinking, oh, next time I make steaks, I'm ready to go with my Andrea sauce. Well, consider that it also is great on chicken, seafood. It's great in stews. And we're kind of moving out of stew season. So, get that last batch in. It's great as a binder, though, for burgers and much, much more. Very, very versatile. Even though it is called a steak sauce, it is great on all of your proteins. And like I said, even in soups and stews. So pick up a bottle. Dierbergs and Schnucks always have it. So does Walmart sometimes, and Straub's is now carrying it too. You can get it at Andreas.com. Or, of course, if you go to the restaurant, they've always got it there along with their salad dressing, which is also very, very unique. If you've never had Andrea's salad dressing, it's all there at Andreas.com. And the restaurant, of course, is in Fairview Heights, O'Fallon since 1978. Andrea's Steak Sauce.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet store. Do you have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning because of a sharp pain in your heel?
I did. I had plantar fasciitis. I had a burning sensation on the bottom of my feet. I went to the Good Feet store and what a relief. And now I never go without my Good Feet support.
Are your knees and back killing you by the end of the day?
It was getting so severe I almost stopped walking. I have no problems with my knees now. I couldn't believe how fast it helped me.
You deserve a better life too. Come to the Good Feet store today.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dierbergs.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Pain relief and comfort to fit any budget. Come in for a free test walk today. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA.
Home warranty. I know, right? Buying coverage for appliances, your heater and AC, etc. from a company that hopes you never ever have a claim or call. Let me introduce you to a real home warranty company, the kind that actually wants to help you. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. Upkeep visit your home 4 times a year to maintain your appliances and equipment. You will never get a lack of maintenance denial because Upkeep does the maintenance. Also nice, Upkeep assigns you one point person to help you. You won't be passed around like an office hot potato, and you won't get subcontractors. Upkeep does all their work, so there's no blame game. Just experts helping you. Visit upkeepstl.com today and type in 971 for $100 off. Don't be denied. Instead, be relieved. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance, 636-387-7331.
Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep, and you'll have a happy home.
Attention investors. How would you like to collect a government-backed check with secured double-digit returns in as little as 21 days? The tax lien code is going to expose the best-kept secret in real estate investing in a free 20-minute Kickstart video. Text the word INVEST to 26022 now and let their free video show you how to earn government-backed returns up to 25% with as little as $50, or how to invest in tax-delinquent homes that are 50% off market. Plus, see how you can access private tax lien inventory not available to the public. So if you want to become a real estate investor that buys tax liens from the comfort of your own home, then text INVEST to 26022 now and get your free Kickstart video. Text INVEST to 26022 right now and you'll get free tickets to attend a live training in the St. Louis area that will include your VIP tax lien bidder number, a power bank charger, and a tax lien investor kit free to all attendees. So text INVEST to 26022. That's INVEST to 26022 for your free Kickstart video.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents. And Doug.
Don't you just love the smell of old books? Shh, this is a library. Sorry, ma'am. We're looking for a book titled Liberty Mutual Customizes Your Car Insurance so you only pay for what you need. I don't think we carry that, but check nonfiction. He really does devour literature. Please leave. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Is your current home loan the right fit for you? Near historically low rates combined with rising home values means that you could have more home equity than you might imagine. And if you're considering a refi, an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot could save you thousands. Ask about our smart term loans, cash out, and over 300 loan options to find just the right mortgage loan for you. Call now, 866-888-LOAN, or go to loandepot.com. Loan Depot, where home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Equal housing opportunity lender, and MLS number 174457, licensed in all 50 states.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
How many hours must we wait through to hear the truth? How many moments did I trade in for a fake kiss? How many chances did I forfeit, too afraid to miss? I feel your thunder pouring like rain down on the mountains of all my mistakes, rolling like rivers, running with grace into the ocean of your
So when we're having
embrace.
this discussion, it's important to dispel some of those who say, well, it's the government spending. No, it isn't. The government spending is doing the exact reverse, reducing the national debt. It is not inflationary, A. B, we don't want to reduce the increase in jobs, which we're very proud of. This president breaking records, historic numbers of jobs created in the first year of his term in office, and a lot of it traced to the American Recovery Act.
I think the Speaker of the House is basically saying, man, this president is really hitting the ball out of the park. It's too bad we're playing football, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever to come in front of the American people and try to tell them that things are going well. I say this all the time. Someday I'm going to put it on a t-shirt or something. We're not as stupid as they need us to be. We just aren't. The American people can see what's going on right now. They see the leadership. It is across the board, Democrat control, and they see what it's doing to this country, and it is bad. And something needs to be done to fix it. Let's welcome our guest onto the show, Congresswoman Vicki Hartzler of Missouri's 4th District. Vicki, welcome to the show. Congresswoman, it's great to have you back here.
Thanks for having me.
So, I have to ask you, when it comes to Nancy Pelosi's comments right there, she's trying to explain away inflation, not necessarily that it doesn't exist, but just make sure that people know whose fault it isn't. What's your assessment right now of your constituents about how they're feeling on the home front, also globally, the situation abroad?
Well, people know that they are hurting, and it's because of the Democrats' failed policies and excessive spending. And for Nancy Pelosi to say that these $1 trillion excessive spending bills is not fueling inflation is ludicrous. I mean, it's just she's just lying through her teeth. She's never taken an economic class. Clearly, I mean, this is just unbelievable, and it is causing people pain at the pump and at the grocery store and everywhere else. In fact, real wages have gone down almost 8 out of the 12 months during Biden's first year in office.
What do you mean by real
wages?
wages? Let's talk about that real quick.
Well,
real wages for people listening right now who may not understand that concept.
Yeah, so they may have gotten a 15 cent an hour increase in their wages, and they're like, great, I've got more money. I'm taking more money home. But then they go to the grocery store and the gas pump and they buy something, and the costs have increased so much because of inflation that they're actually going backwards, and they're actually losing money. And in fact, last year they said the average American household lost $250 a month just due to inflation.
That's huge.
And so that is huge. People aren't getting paid $250 or more a month in wage increases. And so people basically have less and less money to spend on goods that are becoming more and more expensive. And it's hurting people. And people know where the problem lies. And that's with the Democrats, Pelosi and Biden. And it's just a continuation of, I heard a quote from her earlier in the day where she was claiming that the increase of gas prices is due to Putin. And that is something the Democrats are going to be trying to push, because they don't want to take the blame for their failed policies and their war on American energy. But everybody knows that we were American independent with our energy under President Trump. And they know that Biden came in day one, fulfilling his campaign promises that we're going to get rid of American oil and gas and fossil fuels, shut down the Keystone Pipeline, put a hold on any more federal drilling on federal lands. He's slow walking and not approving any new LNG terminal permits. I mean, they know that he's the result of this. This isn't because of Putin.
If you look at the results that this Biden administration has manifested for the country so far, I want to stick real quick here, because I want to get to you about Ukraine and Russia and, so on and so forth. But on the home front, because if absent of everything Russia, Ukraine, it's a dire situation right now in the United States of America. And people are trying to balance in their own lives these two massive concerns between what's global and what's on the home front. Is the America that we're living in right now, with inflation, with high costs, without energy independence, is this what the Democrats wanted? Is this a success, or did they not realize what would happen based on their actions?
I don't know. I think they are probably pleased that the gasoline prices are going up, because they want all of us to drive electric vehicles, which people can't afford because their real wages are going down, and to have energy be only from solar and wind. And so in some ways, they are, I think, pleased that prices are going up. They want people to drive less, be on the road less. Because their number one concern is climate change. They think, and they really believe, that in 10 years we're all going to die because the climate is changing, and their solution to save the world is to get everybody off fossil fuels. It's just almost a religion for them, and it's causing them to make some very, very bad decisions that are harming people. They just lack the common sense that we have here in the heartland.
It looks to me, when I'm looking at our southern border and I see the solution is to send Kamala Harris, no, she didn't go there, to put Kamala Harris in charge of it. The world stage is very tense right now in this moment. Send Kamala Harris to Poland I don't even know what her goal was supposed to be when she went there. President Biden does not show up in these moments. He delegates. The people who he delegates to repeatedly are not getting the job done. What's the president's role in all of this?
Well, it's the model under President Trump, and that is to be strong and to be firm and to be resolute and to have principles and to stand strong for the America first and for freedom. And Biden is weak at every turn. What he did in Afghanistan, the botched withdrawal, just laid the groundwork for what we are seeing now with an emboldened Putin attacking a free and democratic and just unprovoked situation there in Ukraine, because he's like, well, nobody's going to stop me, and Biden is just so weak, and he'll send our cackling vice president over to make some comments at a press conference. So I might as well just go in because I want Ukraine and I want the breadbasket of the world back in my country. And so I'm just going to take it. And it's a very scary situation. I mean, President Reagan said peace through strength. And that is why, as a member of the House Armed Services Committee, I've been focused on rebuilding our military because under President Obama, it was decimated. And it is imperative that we have a strong military and we are able to deter aggression. But when we are viewed as weak, then that emboldens Putin and the Xi Jinpings and the Kim Jong-uns and Iran and all of the terrorists and everybody else. So that's why I'm going to continue to fight to try to make sure we have the capabilities we need to defend ourselves and to deter aggression.
We're speaking with Congresswoman Vicki Hartzler right here on the Annie Frey Show. You know, I'm looking at Fox News's homepage and it says Zelensky appealed to America, pressure point, Biden slammed for response to Ukraine war. Enough talk, people are dying. The next story says world at risk of war. I understand you have a lot of understanding and a relationship with leading our country when it comes to China. We hear this past weekend that Russia has appealed to China for assistance in all of this. I mean, that adds a new layer of trepidation to my concerns about the expansion of what's taking place and Russia's aggressions in Ukraine. What about you?
Yes, I was concerned about that from day one, that Putin would start aligning more and more with Xi Jinping. We've seen this over the last few years, and now it's just been increasing with these tensions here. And so that's a very serious development. It is reminiscent of World War II, right, where you have one person over in Europe enter and attack and take over an innocent country. And then, of course, Xi Jinping has been eyeing Taiwan for a long time and has goals and plans to take them back. We just don't know the year when he's going to do it, and we hope he doesn't. That's why we're trying to give Taiwan, make sure they have the military capabilities to deter aggression. But it's not a good scenario at all.
Congresswoman Hartzler, before I let you go, you know, I know you're running for the Senate seat to replace Senator Roy Blunt, who is retiring. And I've had people on who are running for Congress. They want to be, you know, in the House or retain their seat in the House. And they talk about what the House is going to do should they take the majority, which we hope and assume that they will in a big, big way in the midterm elections. I'm curious what a Republican-controlled Senate can do if you were to win this primary and represent the state of Missouri in the Senate, what you would hope that a Republican majority could do even with a Democrat in the executive office.
Well, in the near term, we have to promote American energy again and to pass legislation that would enable that to happen in a more expeditious manner. We need to quit spending money we don't have and start reining back inflation, and we can do that through the budgetary process. We can continue to pass bills that we did pass this year, one that'll increase our military capabilities that even got bipartisan support against the president, but he went ahead and signed the National Defense Authorization Act that increases our military capabilities, but we've got to keep doing that. And we can continue to hold them accountable through oversight hearings. And this is something that you can't do in the minority, but in the majority, we can have hearings and bring in Hunter Biden and force some answers to, what he has been doing, his complicity with China and with others. We can also make sure that we block any bad nominees to federal positions or Supreme Court positions, but also, we can take steps to secure our border again, stand for life, and stand for our traditional values and protect our basic Second Amendment rights as well. So there's lots that we can do and we need to do to start reversing this course and to stop the rise of socialism and just these atrocious policies that the Biden administration has been inflicting upon hardworking Americans.
Congresswoman Hartzler, one of the things you said there that I think is everything that you listed absolutely needs to be done. And they're all like priority one level. So I don't know how that's all going to manage to get through. You guys are going to be very busy after the midterms, should you be the person who wins that seat. But one thing you talked about was the budgetary process and a Republican majority, not a veto-proof majority, certainly, but that the majority can go through reconciliation to get budgetary things done. I hear a lot of Republicans talk about wanting to rein in spending, but I don't ever hear how they're going to do it. How would you manage to pull spending back to responsible levels for our government?
Sure. Well, I think you need to have a top to bottom review of every agency and say, is there a constitutional role for this agency, for this spending? You know, there's really only a few things in the Constitution that the federal government, should be spending money on, and certainly provide for the common defense is the most important one. So we need to get our priorities right. And some of these programs that aren't so clear there, then we need to start reining them back, or I don't know if we can totally delete the programs with the numbers that we'll have, but we can certainly start putting our prioritization in spending to align with the Constitution and rein in the other spending and get us on a path back to balance the budget. And one thing we can do is something I've co-sponsored since I've been there, is to pass a balanced budget amendment. And that would force Congress and the White House to have to do it, just like Missouri does. And 49 states have in their state constitutions a balanced budget amendment. And that's why Missouri is very solid on a fiscal ground, is because of that. So there's several things we can do, and we need to start doing it now.
I love to hear it. And it's so very necessary for, not just our own tax dollars and our own debt obligations that we have as citizens, but also for our national defense. It needs to be done, and somebody needs to have the willingness and the guts to go in there and do it. Vicki, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. We look forward to having you back again soon. Thank you so much for your time today.
You bet. Thanks, Annie.
Yep, we'll do it again. Congresswoman Vicki Hartzler, Missouri's 4th District Representative there, joining us on the Annie Frey Show. In the next hour, we're going to have Dr. Peter Brooks, who is the Heritage Foundation Senior Research Fellow for Weapons of Mass Destruction and Counter-Proliferation, which I don't have anywhere on my resume. But my resume pretty much consists of this and diaper changing and game changer at ball games. If you know, you know. Kevin Wheeler at 1:25 as well to give us the latest with the MLB resurgence. A lot of hot stove action taking place over the weekend. As far as I know, still no Albert Pujols announcement, but he's still available. So you're saying there's a chance. There's still a chance. And Kevin Wheeler will lament that conversation with us at 1:25. And wouldn't it be so great if that happened during our show? Wouldn't it be so amazing? Wouldn't it be so perfect?
It would be perfect.
If that happened, just can't even wait.
I'll contact my sources over at St. Louis.
I'm
at the
teasing
Cardinals.
something that isn't even in existence yet. So I'm manifesting it into the ethos. Let's make it happen. When we come back, though, Wiggins America. Stick around. A lot more Annie Frey Show coming your way. Join us on the live stream, the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Lots of people chatting it up there. We would love for you to join us. It's 12:44 right now. You can donate your car to Goodwill and get 2022 Cardinal tickets at mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Cardinals. We'll be back with Wiggins America in just a minute. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
I hear the music, heaven has played. Oh, and we're standing face to face.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
We were all told to wear.
I see.
314 clothes today.
Oh, I did too. Yeah, we all did. Well, hold on.
No, I'm not a theme person.
That may be the understatement of the century.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
So Hensher Johnson Orthodontics, where I choose to take my kiddos, they're going to have their assessments here in like a week or two. The 22nd. I don't know. We're going to get the 12-year-old and 9-year-old's mouths looked at. And I know that in the future, there's probably going to be some braces or something of that sort. I don't know what they need, but Dr. Jody does. And that's why I take my kids there. I trust my children in Dr. Jody's hands, and I trust her hands and their mouth to make sure that they're going to have the best orthodontic health. It's a very important part of the process is having good mouth health. It's key to so many things other than just being confident with your smile, but it is important to be confident with your smile. People in my family have gone to see Dr. Jody at Hensher Johnson Orthodontics to have their teeth straightened. People who thought they just, were into their adult life, well into their adult life. And they finally said, you know what, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And was able to change the way they had confidence about smiling. Big toothy grin. You need that too. And if you've thought about it, go get your consultation with Hensher Johnson Orthodontics in Columbia, Illinois, or Waterloo by giving them a call at 618-400-0900. 618-400-0900. Tell Dr. Jody that you heard about him on the Annie Frey Show. You can check him out online at HensherJohnsonOrtho.com.
Feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Golden Oak Lending can save you money with their low 2.25% rate.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. Offset high prices with lower monthly payments or turn your home equity into cash.
Lock in this low rate while you can. Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, join my blues.
NMLS 114937, 2.25% fixed, 3.336% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all of the options available, you need a partner to maximize your investment. The rising prices on vinyl siding has made Hardie Siding a great alternative. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
When Richard Irvin decided to take on Pritzker for governor, he wasn't following a whim. He was answering a long familiar call to duty. Irvin joined the Army out of high school, served in Desert Storm, decorated for bravery. Surviving a brush with death in a dangerous war zone, Richard dedicated his life to service because he loves his country and knows how fragile freedom and security are. As a prosecutor, Irvin put thugs behind bars, drug dealers, gangbangers, 1,000 convictions, hired more cops and cleaned up crime as mayor, balanced budgets, passed property tax relief. When riotous looters came to town, Irvin shut them down. He knows we'll lose the country he fought for if the radical woke mob takes control. Irvin says all lives matter, that schools shouldn't teach kids to be ashamed of their color or country, that we'll take our state back if we have strong, service-minded leadership. And that's Richard Irvin, our next governor, paid for by Irvin for Illinois.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-342-2054. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-342-2054. 800-342-2054. 800-342-2054.
Up to the minute traffic reports, so you don't have to keep looking at your phone. Dependable traffic on 97.1 FM Talk. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
I'm just going to quote Amanda on the Annie Frey Show Facebook page. She's watching on the live stream here. It says, "Happy Monday, all." Wow, Brad, that is quite a shirt, sir. So if you want to tune in to see what she's talking about, it is March 14th, which means it's 314 day. And for all you 314ers out there, it's like a St. Louis day.
Is that why everybody's wearing St. Louis gear?
Are you serious?
I'm wearing this because like spring training has started.
Fair. I'm more, I'm not, I don't want to be a party pooper, but I'm a 618 and I don't see like big June 18th things going down. So I hope we have this much enthusiasm for June 18th.
Have you ever heard of 314 Day before this year?
Only because I'm in radio.
I haven't.
Yeah.
This is the first year I've ever heard of it.
There was like free food out there.
Yeah, it's great. Let's keep celebrating it. Let's do tomorrow too.
I mean, my wife celebrates 314, but that's because she's a math teacher.
A pie teacher.
It's pie. Yeah.
Mhm.
There are some pies out there, but there's a lot of other things too.
315 is Syracuse. So let's do New York things tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm down with that. New York style
New York
pizzas for everybody.
Get some bagels in here. Get Stewie to get us some decent bagel recommendations around 315. Every day we should just look and see who are we celebrating today.
We should celebrate 618 June 18th on just even if it's just this show.
316 Wichita party.
Yeah, I love Wichita.
Wichita in the house over in Kansas.
We'll just roll around in some straw.
You want
Yeah, I'll hit it.
Wiggins.
Wiggins. I think that you just assumed a lot about Wichita.
I do. Well, my in-laws are from Wichita, so I've been to Wichita many times, and they are associated with absolutely nothing. So I just made up farming.
I'm sure they're lovely people. Just offended a huge
No, I
portion
actually
of
love Wichita.
our online audience.
If I get any chance to go there, I love that city. It's just that there's not anything I think that they're really associated with.
Is it just like going to Collinsville?
No, it's like a middle big city. It's got the charm of a big city.
So it has things.
Well, but I mean, there's nothing specific that you'd eat in Wichita that I know of. I mean, somebody let me know, but I've never
Maybe
discovered
you're not
anything
doing
like that.
Wichita correctly.
I don't know.
We should take a Annie Frey show trip to discover the city.
I know that they lived about 10 minutes outside of Wichita, and it was a barren farm. So
Wichita is known as the air capital of the world. Wichita is the birthplace of Pizza Hut and White Castle.
whoa, no kidding. Well, let's do that on
Let's go to
Thursday,
Wichita
Wednesday.
to go to Pizza.
Let's get it.
I mean, I'm not even mad about it. They took the one away from Edwardsville, and I'm like, where's that? Come on.
The air capital, I did know that, but I didn't know how to work that
What does
into-
that mean?
It's like an aviation hub.
So aviation, not just
Yeah. It's not
air.
air. Yeah.
I was just say, maybe you're onto something.
A lot of
about
air
Wichita.
there. A lot of
A.A.
oxygen.
Hyde discovered mentholatum in 1984. No, excuse me, 1894.
Okay. I mean, I still don't know what it is, so it
That's
doesn't really matter.
This is different. 90 years difference in the current, the Spice Merchant and Company building.
Spice Merchant. We could do a Spice Girls theme on Wednesday. Everybody dresses up as a Spice Girl.
What do you? Oh, wow.
No.
What do you call someone from Wichita?
Wichitan.
This is on from 360wichita.com. Wichita is affectionately referred to as Doodah,
Never heard that.
though the origins of this nickname are pretty unclear. I hope it's not offensive. I'm just reading from the internet, people. Younger Wichitans. Tans. Tans.
Oh, here's an interesting one. So El Dorado is where my it's a town right next to Wichita.
Is that different than El Dorado?
Yeah, they
Okay.
pronounce it El Dorado on
I'm just
purpose.
asking.
They
Yeah, I
also
don't know why.
drive Chevy Silverados
That's a
and
good one.
Colorados.
I
See,
like
these
this.
people are famous for a ton of things.
I like this. It's good stuff.
We'll do
But
Wiggins America
you
later.
know who went to grade school in El Dorado, Kansas, with all of my in-laws? Barry Soetoro, aka Barack Obama.
Okay.
And all their yearbooks, which I've seen, his name in them is Barry Soetoro. Isn't that weird?
Yep.
And then my in-law also went to college with him, wherever he went to college. I don't remember where that was, though.
Who?
My in-law went to
Oh.
college and grade school with Barry Soetoro / Barack Obama.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Brad and I look real
They're
skeptical.
like, what am I supposed to do with it? Well,
What are you going to talk to us about later in the show when we actually do Wiggins America? Sorry. I went a little
no,
long
that's
with-
okay.
with
That's okay.
Representative Hartzler.
We're going to talk about how and why. Well, actually, first, I'm going to put this out there to anybody listening if they want to get onto your streams on YouTube or
Annie Frey
Facebook.
YouTube channel. Go there.
Share your favorite memes because that's actually the
Actually,
topic
tweet them at me at Annie Frey Show
Yep.
because that's easier because I can't see them.
at Annie Frey Show, at Radio Wiggins if you want to tweet me. I want to look at memes because that's the topic of discussion for when we do Wiggins America today and why the right is better than the left. That's what we're going to discuss.
Doug on Facebook says 316 is Stone Cold Steve Austin Day because Stone Cold 316 says what?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Austin
316.
Yeah.
Isn't that a take on the Bible verse, John 3:16?
Yes.
Like he's saying there's a book of Austin.
I don't think it's a take. I don't think it's an interpretation. I think it might be blasphemous.
Well, yes, but what he was saying from the book of Steve Austin, verse 3:16, and I don't know where it goes beyond that.
That's real confident.
And Brad, confirm, please.
No, yes.
Confirmed.
Thank
no,
you.
I mean like
Thank
confident of Steve Austin, not you.
Oh, that's it's real confident on his part.
All right, we got to go. We'll be right back with Dr. Peter Brooks. Don't go away.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows at seams installed in no time. Very professional, lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues, 314-993-1800, windowworld.com.
The Closet Factory, online at closetfactory.com, is where you pick up the phone. And it's not like, I know it's not an emergency situation for you, but as soon as you start, okay, I'm just talking about my life right now, but as soon as I start realizing that there is a place in my home that has been collecting things and I've just become okay with that, like the realization kind of smacks you in the face. And you're like, I shouldn't be okay with that. Like I walk past this every day, this section of my house where the book bags get piled up and the kids kick their shoes off. And it just kind of is this place where things accumulate and they kind of get shuffled around, but the accumulation is always there. And I don't see it anymore. But when people come to my house, they do see it. And my kids are learning that it's okay. It's not okay. These things need a place in their home and they need a customized solution for it. And that's where the Closet Factory comes in. So it is kind of in an emergency, break glass, call the Closet Factory. 314-961-4300, online at closetfactory.com.
If your home needs an upgrade, don't get frustrated, get solutions. Call Lakeside Renovation and Design to transform your space into the home of your dreams. Our custom carpentry work has been wowing homeowners for over 20 years. Whether you want a deck or porch, a gorgeous sunroom, a remodeled basement, or more, our award-winning team does it all with in-house skilled carpenters. We even stand behind our work with a lifetime workmanship warranty. Request a free consultation at 636-978-5000. You'll love your home all over again.
Wealth-changing question. Is your investment portfolio really customized? Some advisors say they customize portfolios, but all they really do is ask you a few questions, then put all your money in a model portfolio. At Creative Planning, each of our private wealth management clients' portfolios is unique. Your investment mix will be based on your custom financial plan. If that's not how your money is managed, you aren't getting the customization you deserve. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
More help for Ukraine. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The UN Secretary General says another $40 million will be transferred from an emergency fund.
After being hit by Russian forces, roads, airports, and schools lie in ruins.
Antonio Guterres also noting the hundreds of thousands of people without power and water. And he says at least 24 health facilities have been hit. Russia has denied attacking civilians at a maternity hospital, claiming that site had been taken over by Ukrainian extremists to use as a base, also claiming that photographs of civilian casualties there were fakes. A wounded pregnant woman carried out on a stretcher after that hospital was hit has died along with her baby. No breakthroughs reported after another round of talks between Ukraine and Russia held virtually today. They're planning another meeting tomorrow. President Biden turning his attention back to his domestic agenda at this hour, addressing a National League of Cities congressional conference, while Democrats in Congress pitched the benefits of infrastructure projects in their home districts, including New York Congressman and caucus chair Hakeem Jeffries.
House Democrats are the party of infrastructure, not insurrection. House Democrats and President Biden or the party that gets stuff done and is building a better America for the people?
Aiming to counter the president's poll numbers and the Republican message leading up to the midterms that Democrats are to blame for multiple crises, including high inflation. The founder of WikiLeaks loses his fight not to be extradited to the U.S. Britain's top court says Julian Assange's appeal doesn't raise an arguable point of law. In December, a ruling that blocked extradition was overturned after U.S. authorities offered assurances Assange would be treated humanely. He's facing a U.S. trial over publication of classified documents more than a decade ago. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Springtime weather ready to make a comeback this afternoon. Lots of sunshine. It's windy and it's warmer. South wind 58 to 62 degrees tonight. Clear skies. Drop it back to 38. Monday, partly sunny and 60. Kind of a mix of clouds and sunshine on Tuesday. But Wednesday and Thursday are highs close to 70. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's happening right here, right now.
Are you guys just going to start blaming Putin for everything?
We are on the cusp of the most important transition that human society has ever seen.
I mean, our energy policy is being dictated by the wokers.
We'll look back on 2022 as the year that the world took giant steps to improve energy security and to tackle climate change.
Right here, right now. 97.1 FM Talk.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at biobalancehealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. Biobalancehealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
Attention investors. How would you like to collect a government-backed check with secured double-digit returns in as little as 21 days? The tax lien code is going to expose the best-kept secret in real estate investing in a free 20-minute Kickstart video. Text the word INVEST to 26022 now and let their free video show you how to earn government-backed returns up to 25% with as little as $50, or how to invest in tax-delinquent homes that are 50% off market. Plus, see how you can access private tax lien inventory not available to the public. So if you want to become a real estate investor that buys tax liens from the comfort of your own home, then text INVEST to 26022 now and get your free Kickstart video. Text INVEST to 26022 right now and you'll get free tickets to attend a live training in the St. Louis area that will include your VIP tax lien bidder number, a power bank charger, and a tax lien investor kit free to all attendees. So text INVEST to 26022. That's INVEST to 26022 for your free Kickstart video.
Are you a baby boomer with questions or concerns regarding your retirement plan? How about the future of U.S. tax rates and trends? Does your retirement portfolio fully support your income needs? I'm Ken Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. I can help answer those questions and more. Register for one of our upcoming retirement workshops on Thursday, March 24th or Tuesday, March 29th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. This 2.5-hour workshop will cover 3 essentials: income planning, investment planning, and tax-efficient strategies. Call now to register at 314-328-6000. Again, 314-328-6000. If you have the slightest doubt about your retirement plan, or if you don't have a retirement plan, this workshop is designed for you. Seating is limited, so call now to register at 314-328-6000.
Heisey Advisory Group provides insurance services but may not give tax advice. Firm is not affiliated with the U.S. government. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Investing involves risk.
With Odyssey music stations, there's a different station for every taste, and they're all free. Listen to 97.1 live on your phone or browse the selection of music stations and make a soundtrack to your workday. It's all at Odyssey.com. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock, River Views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Is they're on the northwest side and the northeast side of the city. The purpose is really to encircle the city, to go around the city as the circle would indicate, and they're bringing their artillery forward. And once they get that artillery in position around the city, they'll begin to hammer it. As soon as it's in range, they'll start to hammer it, but it'll be consistent and persistent once they encircle the city. And this is the Russian way of war. Their intent here is to rubble as much of that city as they can, slaughter the people that are inside of it, and get a capitulation out of Zelensky without having to go into the city.
That's General Jack Keane explaining what the tactics are that the Russian military and Vladimir Putin are using in their effort to take Ukraine, parts of Ukraine, whatever the whole end goal is here. The World Watches has lent support in ways that they feel safe lending support without triggering Vladimir Putin into assuming that he is now at war with additional countries. And if you're a civilian and like me and you're watching this, you have a lot more questions. You don't have answers, which is why we go to the experts for these very important topics. Dr. Peter Brooks joins us right now. He's Heritage Foundation Senior Research Fellow for Weapons of Mass Destruction and Counter-Proliferation. Dr. Brooks, a pleasure to have you here on the Annie Frey Show.
Good with you.
I want to give you the opportunity to kind of take this initially where you think it's most important for people here listening along with myself about the tactics that Vladimir Putin is implementing. And also, we've heard about him talking about nuclear threat. And we've heard about many other weapons that he could deploy on the Ukrainian people if he isn't already. What does the world need to know about Vladimir Putin, his abilities, and his willingness?
Well, he's committed to politically subjugating Ukraine, and he increasingly is pushing up the pressure against the military and the people of Ukraine, hoping that the government is going to crumble. And that's why we're seeing the increased brutality. The Russians are committed to this effort, and unfortunately, their way of war does not always have great concerns or any concerns about collateral damage, meaning damage to apartment buildings and infrastructure and the civilians as well. So, unfortunately, I think General Keane is absolutely correct. And that's what we're likely to see. If there's any positive news, is that there is ongoing talks going on between Russia and Ukraine. Of course, any sort of settlement will be for those two parties to decide upon. But besides the brutality we're seeing on our screens, our televisions, there are some talks trying to end this conflict.
Dr. Brooks with us right now. Dr. Peter Brooks, Heritage Foundation Senior Research Fellow for Weapons of Mass Destruction and Counter-Proliferation. I cannot personally imagine the existence of a Ukrainian national in that country right now under siege from Russia. I've heard of different weapons that Vladimir Putin has at his fingertips, things that he's able to deploy, some things they've suggested that he has deployed. What is the best case scenario here for Zelensky? I mean, it doesn't seem as though Vladimir Putin has the scruples to say, I'm willing to go this far, but I would not cross this line. And I don't really know what Zelensky has to retain, like what could still be his in some agreement.
Well, there's a couple of things. I mean, this is going to come down to the resilience of the Ukrainian people and the Ukrainian armed forces and the Ukrainian government, to oppose Russia. Russia at some point could decide that the costs are greater than the benefits. I don't see that at this point. At this point, right now, I mean, Russia has committed 25% of its ground forces to Ukraine. It has more. You mentioned some of these weapons. Some of these are called vacuum bombs. They're thermobaric bombs. They're horrible. Of course, I think that when you're a civilian, any sort of weapon being used by another armed forces is horrible or horrific, right? It's really going to come down to that. I mean, I think Russia, once again, its demands are clear. They're unacceptable, but they're clear. There's a possibility that they could move back on some of those demands. I mean, for instance, they want autonomy for these two separatist republics or provinces in eastern Ukraine. He probably wants to connect Russia by land with the Crimea, which he took in 2014. And if you look at the maps today on television, you'll see that's kind of what he's at the moment accomplished. So he's taken a chunk of Ukraine. I don't know what percentage of the country he currently occupies. He's moving against the capital slowly but surely to try to go after the government seat there. Once again, he's hoping that the Ukrainians the government will collapse and that they will surrender before he gets to that point, because urban warfare can be extremely, extremely ugly. In fact, there are numbers that the military uses that say, the U.S. military say, and military scholars, people who study these national security things, that it takes 10 attackers for every one defender if you go into an urban environment, because it's just really, really super difficult. So he's trying to avoid having to go into Kiev, but he's giving them a taste of what they might see if they don't capitulate. And so far they haven't. And we've seen a very tremendous bravery and courage on the part of the Ukrainian government and the Ukrainian people and the Ukrainian armed forces. But yeah, it's the thing is that once you get into a war, the future is extremely difficult to predict. There are a lot of things that play a role here. Obviously, weather can play a role. As the spring comes around in Ukraine, it can be difficult for Russia's heavy armor to move. It would have to limit itself perhaps to roads, which would allow it to be targeted. A lot of this depends on the support that the Ukrainians receive from outside sources. So there's each day this is this could look different. So we're just talking, Annie, right now about way it looks today, but it could be very different tomorrow.
Heritage Foundation Senior Research Fellow for Weapons of Mass Destruction and Counterproliferation, Dr. Peter Brooks, with us right now. Over the weekend, we heard reports that Russia has leaned into China to ask for aid and assistance. The United States seems to be most, and not unrightfully so, most concerned with doing something that would be perceived as a provocation of war to Vladimir Putin. If China gets pulled into this conflict, does that change the United States' role in contributing to the defense of Ukraine or further places that they might seem to take interest?
Yeah, once again, this is a news report, right? And it's very interesting if true. The way it was put out there, it's been getting a lot of play in the news, but it seems to be based on a single report from an unidentified U.S. government official. And it could have been leaked on purpose. So because the Secretary of State is meeting with his Chinese counterpart today in Rome. So there's a possibility. But say if it is true, it's very interesting. And I'm sure it's not something that the Russians or the Chinese would like to be made public. They're both saying, "Oh, this is not true. We've not said anything about this." So this is probably based on some sort of intelligence or some sort of intelligence source that the United States government, or perhaps a partner government, maybe a NATO government, was able to get information on. But I think the Chinese are going to be very reluctant to do much. I think they have a close, I would say, business relationship with Russia, but they're not natural allies. These two countries, and they've had a lot of differences in the past. You've heard of the Sino-Soviet split many years ago. They weren't. We allied, quote unquote, with the Chinese during the Cold War. Remember, after Nixon went there in 1972 and pulled them away from the Soviets. There's actually, I think, a certain sort of rivalry, but right now they consider the United States to be their main rival. And I think the Chinese will be careful. I don't think you'll see the Chinese troops or anything along those lines. The Russians, if this is true, once again, this was probably conveyed behind closed doors between the Chinese and the Russians, is they may be looking for, economic support, like buy our natural gas and our oil. Perhaps there are some systems that the Russians may be interested in getting from the Chinese. The Chinese actually do build some Russian aircraft for their own use. There could be things there. It could be armaments. But, if you're talking about wholesale Chinese systems, that would be difficult because the Russians would not have been trained on, wouldn't be experienced with them. You just couldn't transfer a Chinese aircraft to the Russians and have them fly. It's not practical. So we're not quite sure. And I think ultimately the Russians would like the Chinese to stand up for them publicly in what they're doing in Ukraine. But, the Chinese also have a lot of interest in Ukraine. They did a lot of business there. So they may be being cautious, and I think that they will be. And I wouldn't suspect that they would admit that the Russians have asked, and I don't think they'd be open about any sort of support they do provide to the Russians. I think that would be all very sub rosa, very quiet, because the Chinese do not want to be seen as playing a role in this. For depending on how this thing all plays out, they want to be in a good position for when this conflict ends.
Dr. Brooks, we want to be mindful of your time. We know you have to run. I want to ask you one quick question before we let you go into your expertise about weapons for mass destruction. The word nuclear war gets thrown out there, and it's being seriously talked about in these conversations. Your reaction to that and what Americans should know? Yeah,
look, the Russians are very capable and have a large nuclear arsenal, just like the United States. I don't think it's likely. I'm not saying, I'd say the risk is low, but it's not no risk. I think the Russians have a lot of conventional capability before they would get to that point where they would use a chemical or biological or a nuclear weapon. But it's something we have to be mindful of, because if they have the capability, their intent could change over time. So it's something we have to watch. But I think they have a lot of conventional capabilities that they have yet to bring to bear that they used before they went to that level.
Is America prepared to defend against that on the global stage?
Well, what do you? It depends on what they use them against, right?
Sure.
Obviously, the United States has the capability to respond to any sort of Russian nuclear strike against the United States or our NATO allies or other allies. Chemical and biological weapons, are things that are more regional as opposed to intercontinental. Russians have regional nuclear capabilities and intercontinental nuclear capabilities. But of course, we have a lot of forces forward deployed to places like Europe and Japan and other places. So we can militarily, we can certainly respond to anything that the Russians might use against us in the field of weapons of mass destruction. And we certainly hope that these horrific weapons are not used.
Dr. Peter Brooks, so grateful for your time today. Thank you for your insight.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, we will hopefully do it again soon. He is the Heritage Foundation Senior Research Fellow for Weapons of Mass Destruction and Counterproliferation, and could have spent a lot of time talking to him about what's going on over there in Ukraine with Russia pushing and asking for help from the likes of China. It's very disconcerting. And guys like him, they're the experts, which is why we bring them on, because I am not one. but I do have a lot of the same questions that you do, and I always appreciate the opportunity to ask them. We're going to take a quick break because when we come back, Kevin Wheeler is going to join us, hopefully in studio. We're going to see if the schedule works out in order to get him in here with us to talk baseball. The business of baseball is back. And what does that mean for the St. Louis Cardinals? What are the notables that we have seen? Maybe who's gone off the table, who might still be able to come to St. Louis? I mean, I don't know. I can think of a few names. Kevin Wheeler, KMOX Sports Reporter, is going to join us in studio here, hopefully in just a minute. It is 1:21 right now. You can donate your car to Goodwill and get 2022 Cardinal tickets at mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Cardinals. Thank God there are going to be games to go to. Kevin Wheeler in a minute. Don't go away.
It's not about left versus right. It's about wrong versus right. Where St. Louis comes to talk. Right here, right now. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
So Michael's Flooring Outlet, a mainstay in St. Louis. It's 314 Day, and I don't know that they have any rights to claim this, but I'm going to give it to them because they're a St. Louis staple. When you are looking for flooring in your home, in your place of business, at your church, you need to know that Michael's Flooring Outlet is a St. Louis business that is out there waiting for you to come patronize them as neighbors. They're local, and that means something. When you get to shop local, you are investing back into your community, what you are putting in your home. And that is a very, very valuable thing, especially when things are going the way they're going right now. Keeping that in the family, so to speak, here in St. Louis is a really, really wonderful, wonderful thing to be able to do. And I'm going to tell you this, it's not like you're sacrificing anything by doing so. You're still going to get the very best in quality flooring, no matter what you're looking for, when you shop at Michael's Flooring Outlet. With the very best customer service, the most knowledgeable people in the area when it comes to your flooring purchase, and amazing value. If you are shopping for flooring, please, please, please stop by Michael's Flooring Outlet before you make your final purchase. IGotFloored.com.
This is a place where your daily experience is the focus. A stunning locale of exceptional care and attention, where community comes together and new friendships form, where activities are limitless and amenities unsurpassed, and where you are surrounded by excellence. This is Allegro Richmond Heights. Assisted living, memory care. Live beautifully. For a tour, call 314-202-5989 or visit allegroliving.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents.
And Doug. Don't you just love the smell of old books? Shh, this is a library. Sorry, ma'am. We're looking for a book titled Liberty Mutual Customizes Your Car Insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I don't think we carry that, but check nonfiction.
He really does devour literature.
Please leave.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Is your current home loan the right fit for you? Near historically low rates combined with rising home values means that you could have more home equity than you might imagine. And if you're considering a refi, an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot could save you thousands. Ask about our smart term loans, cash out, and over 300 loan options to find just the right mortgage loan for you. Call now, 866-888-LOAN, or go to loandepot.com. Loan Depot, where home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Equal housing opportunity lender, and MLS number 174457, licensed in all 50 states.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-342-2054. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-342-2054. 800-342-2054. 800-342-2054.
Springtime in St. Louis, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Mr. Rob Miller from Harvesttown Auto Body in St. Peters did. He called Rhino Shield.
Rob, what was the thought process for going with Rhino Shield as a business owner?
My family's business is over 10,000 square feet, and it did not have the curb appeal I wanted.
Rob, tell everyone how the experience was with Rhino Shield from start to finish.
The process that I liked was when you came out, you gave me all of these options that would fit my building. Our building was really faded. I don't want to have to paint my building again. 25 years is a long time to not have to worry about the outside maintenance of your building as far as paint. That's a no-brainer. That's why Rhino Shield worked for me.
Are your neighbors jealous?
I would be if I was them.
Thanks, Rob. Now it's time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. Genius.
Don't paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The St. Louis real estate market continues to make headlines for home sellers. Selling's easier, but finding your next home can be tricky. Hey, Mark Cox here. For the best real estate advice, get to know my friend and realtor Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I know everyone knows a realtor. I know several as well, but I only endorse Gloria because of her proven track record. I've seen her systems, I've met her clients, and when it comes to getting you more money, Gloria is the only agent and team I would trust to sell my home. The secret is Gloria already has the buyers. Thousands of buyers who are looking for homes in your area, your price range, and ready to buy today. This is how Gloria creates higher demand, multiple offers, and the most money for you. So take it from me. Call Gloria today at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
I hitched a ride with a vending machine repairman. He said he's been down this road more than twice. He was high on intellectualism. I've never been there, but the brochure looks nice.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thank you for being here. It's Monday. It's Monday after Daylight Savings Times. Congratulations, everybody, for making it to 1:30 on this day. This day sucks normally, but the weather outside is fantastic. And Kevin Wheeler is in studio with us because baseball is back in business. He obviously is on here for sports in general, but it's probably been a little more exciting in the last, 3 days than usual.
Yeah, so I don't have to talk about labor anymore.
Yeah.
I don't talk about CBAs and luxury taxes or any of that nonsense. We can just talk about trades and free agent signings. And I mean, the first official workouts today.
Yeah.
Cardinals are on the field in Jupiter today. Actually, they're probably not anymore, but they were.
Brad dressed today as a Cardinals bobblehead.
I was going to say, that's kind of that look. That's kind of like when you'd see on a cruise ship somewhere.
Not in a radio station.
Yeah.
Usually people around here are not that
It is
hyped
314
about
day, though, so
yeah.
He gets a little mulligan.
I see you and I are equally invested in dress-up days.
I'm not really big on the whole let's dress according to what the day is kind of thing. I won't be
Samesies.
I won't be wearing green on St. Patrick's Day.
You have the red hair.
I know. I'm already a leprechaun. I don't have to dress up,
I didn't
man.
say that.
All I got to do is jump up and kick my heels together, and people get the point.
Have you ever done that?
Yeah, all the time. I used to do it to my daughter's friends all the time in high school.
Totally. Dad.
Just exactly.
Dad.
Right. Yeah.
Dad, stop.
Stop.
Gosh, Dad. Oh my gosh, he's the worst.
There's always this one. It was always the
And that was motivation to do it
Except
again.
everybody else laughed. So if you laugh at something I do, I'm going to keep doing it.
One day
I'm
they
like
realize,
a dog in that way.
Good boy.
Yeah.
One day your daughter realizes, he did that because he loved me, but it takes a while.
No, she's probably there now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's almost 25. So by now she pretty much, she gets it now.
She's going to be off your insurance.
Plus, I still do those things when I get the opportunity. So
yeah. It's just more endearing.
It's just a little bit. No, it's a little more rare. That's the problem.
Okay. Yeah. With age, those hips and knees and stuff.
It was pretty much. No. It's just that it was like every day when I pick them up from school or whatever. One of the ones her friends always talked about was my daughter and I were in Target, and the three of her friends just walked around the corner and they saw us in public, And they looked and they used to call me the leprechaun. They'd be like, the leprechaun. And I did the whole jump up and kick the heels and then ran away. And they lost it. It was great. And my daughter just stood there like, what an idiot.
What a great dad.
What
If
a
you're
dummy.
not embarrassing your kids, then you're not paying enough attention to
That's
them.
right. You're not trying hard enough.
Yeah, we're getting my youngest is 12, so he's getting to the super embarrassing
Oh my
age.
God. Yeah. You gotta work that too.
Yes, and I do.
Because you got to get them ready for when they're in high school and college, because they're just going to be nothing but their friends messing with them.
Mm-hmm.
So prepare them.
Get that skin thicker.
Prepare them. Yes.
We're totally down for that. So let's talk a little bit of baseball here. I don't. A lot of people listening to us right now care more about the Cardinals than they care about baseball,
yeah.
which I have been enjoying watching the baseball machine, the gears turning, because when one person goes here, then that means that there's one less DH there, and so on and so forth. Shape it up for me for the St. Louis Cardinals fans out there, where we are right now, what we're looking for.
So as far as the Cardinals go, or what we're seeing around, because
just moves. I mean, what are the Cardinals looking? They've made some moves. None of them are really making the national headlines.
That's right. The two moves they've made since the lockout was lifted was a right-handed pitcher named Drew Verhagen, who spent the last 2 years in in Japan. And he pitched in the major leagues before that. He was with Detroit, and he pitched for them on up and down between AAA and the majors for about 4 years. And he had pretty good numbers in Japan. So if you want to look for a comp, this is the idea is maybe a Miles Michaelis type thing.
Okay.
Where when he left the States, he was one kind of pitcher and not very good. And then he figured it out overseas and was able to bring that skill set back. But they're looking at Verhagen not to start, but probably more of a long reliever, last guy in the pen, and a guy that might start if you need him to. And then they brought in another guy, Nick Whitgren, who is a little bit more of an established reliever. He's not a star, but he's been in the big leagues for 5 or 6 years. Last year was his worst year as a major leaguer.
And then we swooped him up.
But if you dig into the numbers a little bit, he was really good against right-handed hitters.
Okay.
So lefties killed him last year. They absolutely ruined his numbers. His ERA was 5, and it was all because of left-handed hitters. Against righties, he was really good. So, and by the way, prior to last year, he was really good. Like, he was a guy like about a 3.5.
So he laid an egg for a year.
He did. So the question will be, and he's not old, so I think he's just turned 30, maybe turning 31. So the question would be, is this the sign of a decline, or is it just one bad year and he's going to bounce back to be the guy that he was before? The best stat that I've seen thrown out there with him, and I can't remember who put it out there, and I'm sorry, it might have been Derek Gould, it might have been Ben Hockman, I don't even remember. But
who are you most afraid of offending?
None of them. They're all my friends.
Give it to them.
Yeah, whatever. But the number that I saw was interesting was since 2016, he's got the fourth best rate of stranding base runners of all relievers in baseball, which is kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you can come into the middle of an inning and get out of it, that's a pretty big deal. But I mean, he's not a star. He's not one of those where people are going to be like, hey, let's go buy our Nick Whitgren jersey. He's just a guy that gives you some more depth.
Sure. So I saw a departure, Carlos Martinez.
Carlos.
He
got a minor league deal. And then with the invitation to spring training. So if he makes the team, he'll make one salary. And if he doesn't, he'll be at AAA. He's a good guy to take a gamble on. I mean, he's talented, but he can never stay healthy.
Good.
Yeah.
His fan's not.
That's right.
Good.
And there's just not enough of the good. The ratio's off.
Yeah. And he maybe is the fresh scenery will
could
help
be.
him.
He's still relatively young. I mean, he's been around forever, it feels like, but I think he's still only like 29.
So we're looking. So Paul DeYoung is the shortstop right now for the St. Louis Cardinals, correct?
That's the plan. I mean, he's got to keep the job. It's not his to just run with. If he stinks in the spring and Edmundo Sosa is great in the spring, it wouldn't be crazy for him to lose that job right out of the gate.
But the Trevor story is still a story.
It is. I mean, look, there are a couple of accounts on Twitter that are saying that the Cardinals are one of the teams, and when I say accounts on Twitter, I'm not talking about Jeff Passan or Ken Rosenthal or Derek Gould.
At Range Brad.
Yeah, I mean,
going, please.
No, that's just him texting me.
Yeah, can we make this work?
But so there are people out there that are saying that they are one of the teams that were talking to him. One account said that they were the one being the most aggressive. We'll see. I don't think so. I mean, there's nothing from anybody that covers the team professionally.
It makes sense on paper, though, in a lot of different ways, though, right? For him to consider it.
Except for that green paper that everybody carries around. I mean, he's not going to. I mean, he's going to be. I would, even on a 1-year deal. Even if you're looking at a 1-year deal, he's $20+ million for the year. And if we look at maybe they saved money on their pitching moves so they could do something like that. And I always doubted the Arenado thing. I didn't think that was going to happen because of the money. I didn't realize the Rockies would give them $50 million either. So that was a part of it.
Nobody did.
I wouldn't say you can't expect something because John Mozeliak, sorry, don't want to be too familiar there. But
Mr. Mozeliak.
Mo has been, he said the other day that, they are still keeping an eye on the DH marketplace.
Sure.
Now, Story wouldn't be a DH. If he's coming, he's going to play shortstop. So that would mean like DeYoung would be in the DH mix and he plays multiple positions and all that. But I wouldn't hold my breath. I think the Twins are going to be the team that steps up on Story.
The Trevor Story situation, too, is interesting and intriguing here in St. Louis because of his connection also with Nolan Arenado.
Yep, he's buddies with Arenado. Obviously knows Matt Holliday, too. All
Does
of those
Paul
guys.
Goldschmidt fit into that conversation? Was he part of the Nolan Arenado poll here? Did they have a pre-connection?
There was a connection, but I don't remember what it was. It might have been a hitting coach somewhere.
But the Holiday and the Arenado thing, those are
then Story is good buddies with Arenado. They've spent a lot of years together. So, yeah, I mean, that's and I wouldn't want to rule anything out. I wouldn't say no, it's not going to happen.
So saying there's a chance.
Just don't hold your breath.
Okay, so
somebody else is probably going to step up with the multi-year deal that he wants.
So we're also talking DH now, since the universal DH is now in play. The St. Louis Cardinals have to figure somebody out to fill that position. Like you said, maybe somebody fills that position by default because they get shifted out of their other regular position. But there's also a market out there right now. Of course, we can't have you on without talking about the Albert Pujols conversation. We already pre-apologized for that on the air.
Hey, there were reports, and I forget who it was from. If I'm remembering right, it was a reporter named Hector Gomez who mentioned that the Cardinals were one of the teams that has reached out.
Mariners, Rockies initially, but I've seen that has since been pulled back, which the Rockies made a lot of sense to me from hey, you want to get 21 home runs, where do you go?
Yeah, and they have room because they're not going to be good, so they can play you.
So play you, maybe
and not to mention, of course, Field's kind of nice for hitting home runs.
Yes, that's where you go to hit the dingers.
Yeah.
So he's still in the conversation for the St. Louis Cardinals. Is it a completely bad baseball move?
Completely bad? No, but it's a limiting move. Right, you don't have a lot of flexibility there because he could only play one position, and it's this Paul Goldschmidt's position, and he's not coming off there. He's a Gold Glover, so you're not going to be building in too many days off for Goldie.
If Albert Pujols were on our team and Goldschmidt needs a day off, is he a good replacement for Goldschmidt?
Defensively, no.
Would we have better people on the team to?
Depends on who makes the team, right? I mean, like Juan Yepes would be a better choice at that. He moves better. Albert's still fine. Like, he's still got good hands and all that, but I mean, his range is very limited, which is not the biggest deal at first, but there's a reason he's been a DH for the last 8-9 years. And it's partly because of the mobility. Some of it's been trying to keep him healthy because he's had a lot of injury problems, leg problems in particular. And I would never rule it out, but DeWitt was asked about that directly yesterday. And he basically said, we kind of like where our roster is. But like the Cardinals, they're never going to say, yeah, we're in on him. They're not going to do that.
Publicly lose out on him.
Right.
Sure.
And then they're not going to say, no, it's not going to happen either. They don't want to, because if they do that, you're starting to ruin the player's marketplace too, right? If you come out and say, yeah, no, we're not doing that. Well, now his agent has one less team to play, and you would never want to do that to a player. So, again, like the Story thing, don't rule it out, but it's not an easy fit. And really what you'd be looking at is a pinch hitter late in games and a DH against left-handed pitching. That would be what you're looking at.
So, I'm thinking about how this could all play out for the St. Louis Cardinals and have him come in and fill in this position. And it's like super romantic for St. Louis baseball fans. Yeah. But Albert Pujols was trending on Twitter pretty much all weekend, but it wasn't really because of Albert Pujols coming to St. Louis, because everybody is focusing on Freddie Freeman and what Freddie Freeman is going to do.
Well, he's not going back to Atlanta. Atlanta just traded for Matt Olson from the A's.
Didn't know that. That's brand
that
new
happened right as I was walking in the door.
So
Freeman's not going to Atlanta.
It is heartbreaking to me to see that, because the Braves have always been kind of a secondary. I was a fan of Chipper Jones and stuff when I was younger, and I paid attention to them. They kind of have that Midwestern vibe to them, basically not being a coastal baseball team. But everybody is saying, if you're a Braves fan, don't get obsessed with the idea that obviously he's coming back. Look back to Albert Pujols, and then look at what Albert Pujols did. He made his money, but look what he did on the field in that amount of time. I mean, the St. Louis Cardinals organization, as much as it broke the heart of St. Louis faithful, made the business decision of the century by passing on Albert Pujols at that moment in time.
And they made him a great offer. Like the offer they made him, based on two different opinions I saw from economists, would have brought him more money take home than his deal with the Angels.
Really?
Yes, he would have been able to keep more of his money because taxes are a lot lower here than they are in California.
We know about that.
Cost of living in California way higher. So in every way, he actually is probably bringing home, or has during that contract brought home less than he would have had he taken the Cardinals offer. But that was never what it was about. It was about the big number on the top that said, I'm the highest paid player in the game, not just for him, but for other free agents that followed him too, because they're always trying to set the new standard as they go.
So for the Cardinals to have passed on him then, and my understanding and reports that I've watched since then, it wasn't just about the top, the number. There was kind of maybe a feel of disrespect in the way
on his
that
side, yeah.
Yes, on the way that it's separated. Are we past? I mean, he's been back to St. Louis, and St. Louis like rolled out the red carpet, poured their hearts out for him. If he comes back, water under the bridge?
I think so. Yeah. I don't see why it wouldn't be at this point. I mean, I don't remember if it was him or if it was Didi Pujols that mentioned it, but somebody reported that they felt like the Cardinals didn't quote unquote recruit him, right? They didn't show him the love. And the Cardinals' position was, we've been showing you love for 11 years.
Yeah.
You're our best player. You're our buddy. You're the guy, you're the front and center of our franchise.
Yeah.
What more do you want? And I can understand both of them, like just that kind of lack of communication, right? Where one side is like, yeah, I'm sure he knows. I mean, God, he's the centerpiece of everything we do. We don't need to recruit the player that's been here for 11 years. But really,
apparently they did.
if the top number looked like the Angels' top number, he would have stayed, regardless of all that. I mean, I'd be floored.
And it wouldn't have been the best thing for the Cardinals.
No, it would have been terrible. It would have been. I mean, he was fine for the couple of years that followed. Like his first couple of years in Anaheim were okay. They were good. They just weren't like Albert's previous good. And then obviously it just started to decline. And it's all related to leg injuries. I mean, it's not, he didn't get lazy. He didn't forget how to hit or anything like that. He started getting injuries in his 30s. And when those things become chronic with foot and leg injuries, for a hitter, you've lost your base.
Yeah.
Everything you do to hit is in your legs. And once that starts to go, it's hard to get back. And especially when the injuries are coming up every year, right? It wasn't happened once and then he just never recovered. He just kept popping up.
As a DH, is he still suffering from those?
Oh my God. Yeah. He hasn't hit right-handed pitching well for years. I mean, probably 3 or 4 years at least, maybe more than that. I haven't looked further than that, but he still mashes lefties. So, I mean, again, if you're doing it, that the problem with that as an idea is that he's a limited player. Like you're putting a guy on your roster that can only really do one service for you, and that's hit against left-handed pitching. He doesn't help you defensively. He's not going to help you on the base paths. He's not going to hit right-handed pitching, and he doesn't have positional versatility. Versus the young dude, Juan Yepez, who hit 27 home runs in the minors last year. He's a first baseman, but he also plays a little third, and he can stand in the outfield if you need him to.
And he can hit.
And
can he hit major?
We don't know.
League, because that's a difference.
At some point, you have to clear the deck, right? I mean, they had to do that for Tyler O'Neill, and look what happened. And they had to do that for Dylan Carlson. They had to clear the deck for Harrison Bader. That's why Tommy Phan's not here anymore. It's why Rosarena was traded. It's why they've moved on from a bunch of outfielders like Randall Grichuk, because they were trying to clear the path for the guys that were coming up.
Yeah.
At some point, you have to do that. And, they've got Yepez first. Obviously, he's first in line because he's older than Nolan Gorman, but Gorman's right there on the doorstep too. He's considered one of the best power hitting prospects in all the minor leagues. So how much do you want to block those guys from any opportunity early, as opposed to how much do you want to, get the band back together and, play the emotional side?
Depends on when you ask me.
Yeah, I know. And again,
if you're asking me in like late September and there's a pennant race going on or the division race, then okay.
And it's tough because look, the unknown is the unknown.
Yeah.
We don't know what those two guys or what Lars Nootbaar can do hitting almost every day as a DH or, moving around the field and all that. But we do know what Albert is. And we know that it's one-dimensional and it's one thing at the moment. He's not going to hit 700 home runs.
That one thing, though.
Yeah, he's not going to hit 21 home runs playing for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to play enough. I mean, I just don't see the scenario.
And the home games are not a hitter-friendly.
Right. Hey, there's another good point. Like right-handed hitters.
That's why you go to Denver.
Even a guy like Arenado in his prime didn't hit here like he did anywhere else. And the funny thing is that Arenado's numbers on the road were phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals on the road last year were like top 5 in Major League Baseball in offense. But at home, it just doesn't work. But that's an advantage for their pitching staff too, though. So really, It's not wins and losses are not impacted by that, but offensive numbers are.
So real quick before we only got like a minute left here, but spring training is upon us. Any major question marks that we have in spring training? People we need to see who are healthy.
We got something that we got to be concerned about today.
Great.
Apparently, Alex Reyes is not ready to go at the beginning. He's having some, the way that Tom Ackerman reported it, because Tom's down there now, the way he reported it was that they're doing some extended examinations of what's going on with his arm.
It wouldn't be much.
And I don't think they specified shoulder or elbow or anything, but they're evaluating him. So at this stage, at the best case scenario, he's a couple days behind. We don't know beyond that.
Expectation would be to start.
Well, the idea was to build him up that way, but they have 5 starters. He's not going to crack that unless somebody's hurt. Same thing for Jordan Hicks. But they want those guys built up so that they could maybe even be guys that come in the middle of a game and pitch 2 or 3 innings. So you could go a starter, let's say Steven Matz can only get you 5. Well, let's go to Reyes or Hicks. And if they're going well, maybe they go the next 3 innings. Maybe they go 2. But, they still love the idea of Reyes being a starter eventually.
Yeah.
But the body has to be able to hold up, and it hasn't in his career. It's too bad because he's a freak talent. He's just so gifted.
Yeah, we've had you on talking about that before. I know Dan McLaughlin was just super high on it. We've just very high expectations, and he's never been able to.
It's all been injuries too, man. When he's able to pitch, he's pretty good. Like he's got special stuff. But when you look at like the control problems last year, part of that comes from the fact that you barely pitched for 3 years before that.
Everybody on our roster right now is healthy. Like is there though? There's no major player.
So Yadi's not there yet.
Oh.
That was also today. That just came down not long ago. So Yadi's not there, but it's not an injury.
Okay.
It's for personal reasons was the way it was put. Same thing for Giovanni Gallegos, not there yet for personal reasons.
Okay.
And then Genesis Cabrera he's still doing the visa thing. He can't travel yet, but obviously they're getting that sorted out.
Whew. That's a lot, and I love it all. And if you like that whole segment there can be summed up in Brad's shirt right now. If you tune into the YouTube channel, it's an incredible amount of.
I hope that shirt was free.
Festive.
It absolutely was.
It wasn't free for you. It was free for somebody. You paid somebody.
It was part of a deal. I paid for. Well, this came free with the hockey jersey base, the Cardinal hockey.
Right. I knew it looked familiar.
So
giveaways really. They've upped their game
from
when I was a kid.
Ones.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Yeah. All right, Kevin Wheeler, thank you so much. Camo X.
You got it.
Hosts the Sports Open Line. People go check him out at Kevin Wheeler 94. Quick break. When we come back, Wiggins America Part 2, because we talked about Wichita, Kansas for the entire first one. Nobody saw that coming. Stick around. Ryan Wiggins back in studio in a minute.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
He's got a daughter he calls Easter. She was born on a Tuesday night.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Who's going to be the DH for the Cardinals? How about Waino? Let's start with that.
There's only one name that should be on the short list of DHs for the Cardinals. Albert Pujols. There you go. Pujols, Wainwright, Molina.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great, because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. No strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
Stewart's American Mortgage, home of the Bagel Loan. The Bagel Loan guy is somebody who can come help you get your mortgage refinanced in a jiffy. 14 days to close. That's crazy. And when you use the Bagel Loan, you're not going to pay fees that everybody else out there is going to charge you when it comes to refinancing your mortgage. Or if you're doing an original home purchase, he can help you with that as well. Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage is my friend. I have done this twice with him, once to get that lower rate secured because it was pretty significantly lower than what we got in 2015 when we purchased the house. Rates had just gone down significantly since then. And the second time we did it to take some of the equity out of our house so we could build a deck on the back. And I think that's a great opportunity right now for you as well to consider. Equity in our homes is high and rates are still low. 314-324-4440. That's the number that you can call to reach him. You can also text Stewie at that number. To get a hold of him, mention the Annie Frey Show when you do and get the bagel loan process started for you right away. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
I'm Dr. Nick Barnes at Health From Within Family Chiropractic in Rock Hill. At Health From Within, our mission is to transform the way you manage your health by bringing you the truth about health and healing. We use proven techniques to remove interference in the nervous system and maximize health naturally, without drugs or surgery. Connect with me at healthfromwithinstl.com and join me for Maximize Living on this station every Sunday at 8 a.m. or download the Maximize Living podcast, healthfromwithinstl.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studios. Get in your comfort zone with a new HVAC system. Double carrier cool cash rebates for a total of $143 are available on qualifying new HVAC systems. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Information to keep you moving. Dependable traffic, mornings and afternoons with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
It's kind of hard to interrupt this, Ryan.
Man, I love this song.
You can tell.
Who does not like this song?
Who likes it as
love
much as
this
you
song.
do?
I did a whole sketch to this song about 20 years ago.
What was it about?
It involved this dance.
Europe?
It was about hypnotizing people and making them buy things.
And then he got into radio.
That didn't work out for some reason.
The natural progression is, well, I got to try something else. You were talking about memes in Wiggins America briefly, but we got sidetracked during the actual Wiggins America, which happens every day at 12:45. Naturally, we got distracted because we started talking about Wichita, Kansas. And
don't bring up Wichita around me.
All the things Wichita has to offer. Home of Pizza Hut and White Castle. Who knew?
Wait. Was it? I thought we determined that was somewhere else. I don't remember now.
No, it was definitely
Was
Wichita.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I'm
You
supposed
can
to be the
podcast
Wichita
the show
expert.
on the Odyssey app, the Annie Frey Show. You can find it there and listen to things that you might have missed, even if you were on the show while they were happening. Ryan,
Yeah, I clearly don't remember, but I'm the one who knows the most about Wichita, and I didn't know that was facts.
you didn't know any of the things that I read off of Google.
No, I knew it was the aviation capital of the Midwest for some reason.
Air capital.
Okay, air capital.
That's what the internet said. And I
Yeah.
wasn't 100% sure what air capital meant.
I know exactly what your mind was. They were selling air like in Spaceballs.
That made me laugh. It hurt.
Sorry. What'd you do?
Charlie had baseball practice yesterday, and it was just a beautiful day. So I took the girls out to baseball practice with them. My husband coaches, and it wasn't the whole practice. It was just a couple people who couldn't make the Saturday practice. And at the end of practice, I was like, I want to hit some baseballs. Naturally, it was on my old softball field when I played softball in high school. And so I was swinging for the fences. And I can tell today that I did that in my left rib cage in the back. It hurts when I laugh.
That's okay.
I even kind of quasi stretched, but I did like the 37-year-old stretch. Like, oh, I got to do this now. You go stretch to the right a couple times, stretch to the left. And you're like, okay, I can do this. Nope.
Man, I remember when I was playing golf in high school, they would tell you, oh, you got to do these stretches before you go out and have a match. And we're all like, why do you need to stretch before you play golf?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
now
Are you
you
kidding
do.
me? Yeah,
but when
you
you're
gotta do-
15, you don't need
No,
to.
you don't have to do any of that. You can eat like a full $10 fast food meal 3 days or 3 meals a day, go play golf, not stretch, and you lose weight.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the stupidest thing ever.
We used to get a 5-pound bag of gummy bears and sit there and eat
It's
it
always-
all in one night while playing probably James Bond on Nintendo 64 or whatever.
GoldenEye.
Yes.
GoldenEye. Yeah.
Slappers only.
GoldenEye.
You got it. You got it. Yeah, man, those are the days.
I think that GoldenEye N64, N64 and Nintendo 64. I think GoldenEye was responsible for at least 3 of the people who I went to grade school with going into the military and being total BAs right now. I'm just going to put that out there.
I know at least one who was. It was after 9/11.
I mean, it was real.
Mhm.
I mean, they were playing GoldenEye in the 90s, and they went into the military and are big friggin' deals now, and they're all like GoldenEye.
Wow. Yeah, I had one guy who was really into it, and he was like, you know what? I need to quit. Just I need to get off the bed and get into the action right after 9/11. He's like, I need to serve my country. And he went in, I wouldn't say it was because of GoldenEye, but it was that whole lifestyle thing.
It's a mentality.
Yeah. Boy,
Memes?
how interesting. Well, what's your favorite meme if you had to come up with one right now?
I don't
Brad
know.
or Annie?
Brad is more into that than I
I
am.
don't have a favorite meme. It all depends on the situation.
It's all, yeah, it's
I think you should define what meme includes.
So I'm writing an article right now about how political cartoons really have gone by the wayside and now in favor of memes, political memes on Facebook or Twitter. They are these really easy to digest 1 or 2 pictures usually with a theme to them explaining some
Are
sort
they
of
only pictures?
No, they don't have to just be pictures. They can
'Cause
also be like GIFs and stuff like that.
I think of memes as being pictures, but that's not accurate anymore.
they can be GIFs that are, the little 3-second loops or whatever, but they have some sort of easy to digest message that you can grab instantly.
Pictures worth 1,000 words.
And it's funny how bad, generally speaking, online the left is at doing them and how good the right is at
It's
doing
because
them.
the left takes themselves too seriously.
I think it's that, and I think it's a combination of the right being able to share a universal truth that really doesn't apply just to America, but to anybody at any time really quickly. I think that's why it works.
But a meme should be funny. And
they
whenever
are,
you're taking
yeah.
yourself too seriously. So the left's memes tend to seem like they're trying to hurt or harm somebody. They're trying to be cutting. And that's not the point of a meme. The point of the meme is to make a person look at it and go, ha,
yeah,
I see what you're saying
But
there.
you're also conveying something
Right.
that is true, and that you're sort of hitting on overall comedy within the world of American entertainment. When you watch leftist comedy, it's angry at its subject, and I think
It's
that's
not comedy.
Right.
It's therapy.
And it's the reason I think the
It's like
right
group therapy
has a tough time doing rightist comedy, is because, at least in my world, I just write comedy, and then maybe if it has a right lean to it, fine. But the point is the comedy, not the insult.
I think that in order for something to be comedic, it has to call out something, put on the center stage something that everyone knows but people don't usually talk about. And the left is shouting at you every time you turn around. So it's kind of hard to put any of that in center stage.
Yeah.
The right has to live in the fringe because of the left.
And the right does it. They might make a point, but it's more subtle, in my opinion.
It's because they're not petulant babies.
No.
I mean, no, that's not all true. Sometimes. More Annie Frey Show in a minute. Don't go away.
It's Mark Reardon from my friends at ThrottleNet, and let's talk about managed network versus cybersecurity. That's ThrottleNet's answer to the never-ending challenges that business owners face waging war against outside attacks, intrusion, and data breaches. If your IT support is not talking about cybersecurity and providing layers of defense, it's time to change. ThrottleNet clients have never paid ransom, and they're prepared for full recovery after being hit with a ransomware attack. And I've got a great offer for you. ThrottleNet is so confident of their superior customer service, they'll give you the first 30 days of service for free. If you decide to leave ThrottleNet in those first 30 days, they'll pay you $1,000 for your trouble. On top of that, they never lock you in to a long-term contract. And how about this for some proof from the business community? ThrottleNet has been awarded Small Business Monthly Best IT Company for 6 years in a row and voted #1 all 6 years. Get started today. Go to throttlenet.com/971. That's throttlenet.com/971.
Air Comfort Service, they're easy to find online at, obviously, aircomfortservice.com. Waiting for your phone call to take care of that problem that you have in the basement, that HVAC system, or you making sure that it is working exactly the way it's supposed to be with the ventilation, the AeroSeal duct sealing. I've had that done in my house, and it helps seal all of the different areas in our ventilation that have leaks and cracks, and all that air that you're paying to cool or paying to heat. It's leaking out into your home, not where you want to heat and cool. That air conditioning unit on the outside of your home, is it working the way it's supposed to be? Has it been on the fritz in the last year or two? You want to make sure that you have Air Comfort Service come out and check it out for you. They are offering really, really great rebates right now as well. The double carrier cool cash rebates available to you. You can check out online to find out the extent of them, but they go pretty high. 314-513-0091. Online right now at aircomfortservice.com.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
Mass destruction and fierce resistance in Ukraine. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Russia's assault on multiple Ukrainian cities continues, but a U.S. defense official says the Russian advance remains largely stalled as Ukrainian soldiers and civilians fight back. Ukraine's ambassador to the UN accusing Russia again of war crimes.
Russian troops continue to commit war crimes and crimes against humanity in Ukraine, erasing any difference with their Nazi predecessors 80 years ago.
Also calling for the release of a captured mayor. Russia has denied attacking civilians, but many civilian targets have been hit, including apartments and hospitals. We're just getting word that Fox News correspondent Benjamin Hall was injured while news gathering outside of Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. Not a lot of detail right now, but he is hospitalized. On the road to the midterm elections, Democrats are touting infrastructure projects.
The infrastructure agreement will provide the resources necessary, billions of dollars coming to New York City and New York State.
House Democratic Caucus Chair Hakeem Jeffries visiting his home district in New York as President Biden speaks in D.C. this afternoon, insisting his domestic agenda will not increase inflation. The father of a young boy who accidentally shot his own mother is likely to face gun charges. That from the police chief in Dalton, the Chicago suburb, where the shooting involving a 3-year-old happened on Saturday.
Police say the family was sitting in their car in a supermarket parking lot when the boy somehow got a hold of the gun and fired it, hitting his mom. She was pronounced dead at the hospital.
Fox's Gianna Gelosi, the father, has been detained. Police say there's no indication he fired the gun or that he even knew the boy was holding it, but that he could be held responsible for the weapon. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com. I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Springtime weather ready to make a comeback this afternoon. Lots of sunshine. It's windy and it's warmer. South wind 58 to 62 degrees tonight. Clear skies. Drop it back to 38. Monday, partly sunny and 60. Kind of a mix of clouds and sunshine on Tuesday. But Wednesday and Thursday, our highs close to 70. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
When you're here, you're on the leading edge.
Julie's been very patient in St. Louis, listening on a great station, 97.1. Hey, Julie.
Hey.
Of everything happening.
You and the media have to resist the temptation to just say, oh, nobody's going to report on it. We'll just move on.
Locally and nationally.
Not in a million years, Julie. Are you kidding?
The world, the country, and the community meet here.
Because conservative radio and media pressed it and pressed it and pressed it, and it finally caught on.
I agree.
97.1 FM Talk.
Attention investors. How would you like to collect a government-backed check with secure double-digit returns in as little as 21 days? The tax lien code is going to expose the best-kept secret in real estate investing in a free 20-minute Kickstart video. Text the word INVEST to 26022 now and let their free video show you how to earn government-backed returns up to 25% with as little as $50, or how to invest in tax-delinquent homes that are 50% off market. Plus, see how you can access private tax lien inventory not available to the public. So if you want to become a real estate investor that buys tax liens from the comfort of your own home, then text INVEST to 26022 now and get your free Kickstart video. Text INVEST to 26022 right now and you'll get free tickets to attend a live training in the St. Louis area that will include your VIP tax lien bidder number. a power bank charger, and a tax lien investor kit free to all attendees. So text INVEST to 26022. That's INVEST to 26022 for your free Kickstart video.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet Store. Do you have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning because of a sharp pain in your heel?
I did. I had plantar fasciitis. I had a burning sensation on the bottom of my feet. I went to the Good Feet store, and what a relief. And now I never go without my Good Feet support.
Are your knees and back killing you by the end of the day?
It was getting so severe, I almost stopped walking. I have no problems with my knees now. I couldn't believe how fast it helped me.
You deserve a better life, too. Come to the Good Feet Store today.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dearborn.
Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Pain relief and comfort to fit any budget. Come in for a free test walk today. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA.
Mark Cox here. Guys, let Victory Men's Health help you regain your vitality by optimizing your hormones, vitamins, and sexual health. Victory Men's Health has the most cutting-edge technologies to treat ED. They have wave therapy. Listen, this is the biggest advancement for men with ED since the launch of Viagra. That's pretty incredible. They do the treatments in their office. Victory Men's Health offers wave therapy in both their Illinois and Missouri location. Check him out online today at victorymenshealth.com.
Hi, it's Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage. As we go into a new year, it is a great time to get started on a new home loan. If you've been thinking about a cash out refinance to pay off debt or update your home, act now while equity is at an all-time high and interest rates are still at historic lows. Maybe it's the year that you're going to reduce your term or get rid of the dreaded PMI. Perhaps this is the year that you buy a new home. Call me now so you can shop with confidence. When you call, there will be no gimmicks or sales pitch, just straightforward, upfront information on refinancing and home buying options. So call me today, 314-336-6050. 314-336-6050 or online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage LLC, 224-143, NMLS 250353. If you need to hire, then you need Indeed. The all-in-one hiring platform helps you schedule and conduct video interviews right from your employer dashboard. Finding your next great hire has never been more streamlined. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Odyssey is an all-encompassing audio landing zone where you can find podcasts in any genre and listen live to 97.1. Not to mention that you can rewind within the last 24 hours. 97.1 FM Talk on the go. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock, Riverviews, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
But if Putin thought Trump was really that supportive of him, why didn't he invade when Trump was in office? It's at least worth asking that question if you're not locked into one intransigent thought.
Yeah, well, there you have Bill Maher. That's his name, right? I just blanked on it. I'm like, Bill? Is that my go-to just fill-in name is Bill? What if it's Tom? Why isn't Tom my fill-in name? Bill Maher in an interview with the Daily Wire, right? Ben Shapiro. I logged in.
That one was from his show.
That's from his
Yeah.
thing. It is very interesting, people, to look at people just asking questions. They're not even really making bold statements about Trump. They're all just posing questions. And we're like, we know. Welcome to the club. So I played earlier in the show, but I'm gonna play it for you again because this is just really, really, really makes you go, oh, you don't say, Trevor Noah, where you been this whole
There's
time?
no denying that Saudi Arabia isn't playing ball with Joe Biden. And you know what? You can say what you want, but this would have never happened to Donald Trump.
Ooh.
Never. No one was ever ignoring Donald Trump's calls. Yeah, because if you ignored Donald Trump's calls, you didn't know how he would respond. Maybe he'd send an angry tweet, or maybe he'd just like ban your country from everything. You don't know. That's why I bet in these situations, Biden actually wishes that he could hire Trump to step in as president wildcard. You know, just keep everyone on their toes. Because if Trump was calling, you best believe the UAE, they'll be racing to pick up the phone. Oh, Mr. Trump, we're here, hello? Too late, Ahmed. You made me wait 2 rings. We're bombing the UAE and the UFC, just in case.
It's such a good impression. It makes me laugh every time I hear it because he's really, really good at it. And what he's saying there is a little bit in jest, but he's also saying it because it's true. And everybody else out there knows that it's true. Where the Trump deranged syndrome has brought the party of the left, the Democratic Party, is in a place where most Democrats, most everyday, casual, hardworking, blue-collar Democrats that exist out there and, you know, they have their thoughts and beliefs. They're different than what conservative Republicans are. They look at this party and they go, this is not really the representation of the politics that I have for myself.
Look, I haven't changed at all. My politics hasn't changed. They've changed. People say to me sometimes, you know, have you changed? No. It's that 5 years ago, no one was talking about defunding the police. I never heard that phrase 5 years ago. That's not me changing. That's things changing. I'm reacting to it, as I've always been. You know, letting 3-year-olds decide what gender they are. This wasn't something 5 years ago. Free speech, you know, used to be a left-wing thing that we were proud and owned, and now that seems to be under attack. So again, I think I've stayed the same.
Bill, when you have Bill Maher talking about where he is the same and the party is shifted, they're so obsessed with Donald Trump that they've completely forgotten that they have to stand for something. They only stand against something. And the reason why I think that makes this most evident today than it has been in a long time is there is a man who is out there right now pushing a book, Bill Barr, who many people on the left laud as somebody who was willing to stand up against Donald Trump. One of his own people was willing to stand up against him. And here he is selling a book. And if he were trashing Trump, he'd be all over everything. People would be talking about it. It would be all you could see on your social media feeds. He is talking to people because he is pushing a book, but it's not catching on for some reason. Why is that?
You spent a lot of time in your books painting this person as unfit for office.
Well, I also...
and making it clear that he himself, that he's got temperamental issues, he's got character issues, and yet you would risk that again over Joe Biden?
Well, I think there are a lot of American people right now that might prefer having him back in office than what we see under Biden.
But I'm talking about you've had firsthand account. You saw it up close.
Right. Well, I think elections are binary choice, and and unfortunately, sometimes it's choosing the lesser of two evils. I believe that the progressive wing of the Democratic Party is dangerous for the United States.
Chuck Todd biting off a little bit more than he can chew in this interview where he's thinking, oh man, we're going to get Bill Barr in here. He's going to trash Donald Trump. We're going to win. It's going to feel like victory until we look at our economy and the southern border and the world. There's not really much room right now to look around and go, this guy that we got in the office right now, he's doing a pretty great job. Bill Barr is on Chuck Todd's show, which is, what is it? NBC something?
That's not Meet the Press, is it?
Could be.
Yeah, I don't even remember who's hosting Meet the Press anymore.
He looks to me like a beaver. Some kind of rodent. And I don't want to say rodent in a disrespectful way because beavers can be really
say
cute.
rodent in the most respectful way possible.
Rodent.
Okay. Ratatouille.
Yeah, he looks like Remy, okay? There's something about him that just...
know what stinks?
This is below me.
Is that you were
should fire me
making
right now.
a really good point.
I still am. I'm not done.
All right, keep going then.
I'm not done.
Okay.
On that show that Chuck Todd does on the NBC.
It's Meet the Press.
Meet the Press.
Yes, I was right.
Producer. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You feel good about yourself wearing that Kurt Warner jersey, throwing touchdowns. I just am in awe that they reel these people in, because all that matters that day is that they're going to dunk on Trump. And Bill Barr literally says to him, he was a dumpster fire. I wrote a whole book about it. He'd be better than the guy we got in there right now.
Yeah.
Like, you got to not feel good about that at the end, because he's right.
Yes, he is. Here's the thing. I think Trevor Noah was also trying to dunk on Trump in that clip and just kind of failed. Like, he forgot that he was trying to make.
I don't know.
I
didn't hear the whole context. I didn't hear what happened before and after that, because sometimes that totally changes the game.
Mm-hmm.
But the point that he made is true.
But overall, I like, and the fact that you've pulled in these 3 clips, because you're talking about Trevor Noah, who pretty much toes the line. He doesn't cross over into any sort of nuanced territory very often.
He has a few times
once in a
lately.
while, but Bill Maher does on the regular now.
Bill Maher has been Bill Maher. He's probably one of the most consistent people in media. Love it or hate it.
And then on
Consistent.
the right, or if you'd consider him right, Bill Barr is also saying things, all 3 of those guys, and there's more than just them, but there's a lot of people now having very nuanced conversations about politics. And I don't know if that's just because we're in Ukraine and there's a lot more nuance there than with a domestic issue, or just because, and here's my theory, these people have these conversations that have more, well, maybe this way, that way, while there's a Democrat president. If there's a Republican president, it is a unified, monolithic voice.
It's just Trump bad. And you know, the largest point that I think that any voter, I don't care who you vote for, any voter can take out from the moment we are in right now, is that the Democratic policies that are in play right now are a disaster for the country. In addition, a disaster for the world. It's not helping on any front. There is no success story that is coming out of this Biden administration that has a Democratic control in both houses. It's not succeeding. And in the United States, the coolest thing about us is our states' rights, is the idea that we're the United States of America. We're not just America. We have 50 states. We have 50 test kitchens where we take freedom and we massage it and we mold it into the way that we feel best represents the people of that state. And then we have something to show for it. We had a pandemic, and if you look red state, blue state, there were drastic measures. Speaking from somebody who lives in a blue state, in the state of Illinois, there were drastic measures that we took in our state that others didn't. And the numbers don't prove that those government tyrannical measures that were taken by the likes of Governor J.B. Pritzker, unchecked by a Democrat supermajority of people in the state legislature. They could have passed laws. They have a supermajority of Democrats in both houses. They could have gone in and they could have made a law about wearing masks or vaccines. And if it would have been challenged in the courts and turned down, then you know that they shouldn't have done it in the first place. But they didn't touch it because it's so politically unpopular and unnecessary that it would have cost them at the ballot box. So they let the governor run tyrant over the entire state, and they don't have anything better to show for it. You don't get your Boy Scout badge at the end of the pandemic and go, you did what was difficult, but it was what's best for the people of Illinois, and we can prove that. You can't. California, you can't. New York, you can't. New Jersey, you can't. Blue state, blue state, blue state, blue state. You cannot prove that these tyrannical measures were better for the people of those states. And that shows in the United States of America that the closer that the rights retain to the American people, that's where they belong, that's where they emanate from, the better the living experience is for the people who enjoy that freedom. And if you want to live in a blue state and constantly vote people in who are going to rip that freedom away from you, you're going to pay the price. We've done it at the federal level, and it's a freaking disaster. And Donald Trump, who is somebody whose policies were better than anything that I'm seeing anywhere else in politics from a conservative person who gets stuff done through policy, but can't find his way out of a paper bag when it comes to saying things that distract everybody from the success he had as a president is still better in the situation we're in right now than what we got. And the Democrats got it all. They had it all. They have it all. And they're probably going to lose 2/3 of it here in November. But I don't know what's left to fix.
Yeah, I mean, you said it with the Illinois legislature in particular. It's such a good example of the rest of the country, too, because it was a supermajority they let the governor do things unchecked, but also unendorsed. They did nothing. And they could, in a democracy, in a representative democracy, they should have done something. Either said no to those things or said yes to those things. But that's how you know it's tyranny, is because the legislature ended up having nothing to do with any of it. They knew it was toxic. They knew nobody liked it. Otherwise, they would have endorsed it. And they knew that their own party is run by such far leftists and tyrannical people that they also didn't check it. They did nothing.
Yeah, it was all about maintaining their cushy position. They didn't want.
That's it.
They didn't take a stance because it wasn't politically expedient, and that shouldn't be politically expedient. Not taking a chance, you should be held. Not taking a stand on something, you should be held accountable for that just as much as taking the wrong stand.
And the worst thing of all is that is not our government. That's not our government system. It's
Right.
not supposed to run that way, and it did for 2 years.
And everybody sees the fruits of the labor right now. Everybody knows it sucks. But some people are asking why. Some people know why. And some people will never know why. That's just, that's the lay of the land on any given day. But there's an entire generation of people right now that are my age, but a bit younger, that have seen some things in their time, who have been, she'll be back tomorrow. She's in the free state of Florida. She's talked to me about this before too, but she said her generation, like the people who are her age, have lost so much to this pandemic. They have lost so much of what is irreplaceable due to the decisions that have been made by the people in a position of authority. They have taken that away from these kids, and they're going to know that. And they might not be, if you're 20 years old, or if you're 16 years old, or if you're 12 years old, they might not be going, well, who's making these decisions and how do we change that? But they will when they grow up and are out of grade school and out of high school, or if you're like Hannah, who is almost done with her associate's degree and is in the professional world and seeing what is going on out there and putting these things together, they will come to a moment where they understand that there is a connection between who's in charge and what those people permit the free people of the United States of America to engage in. And that permission from the government is something you have to give them permission to give you. And you can change that. I think that we could potentially be really underestimating the impact that this pandemic has had on these young people, their lives, what was taken from them, and what they'll never get back. You don't get your senior prom back. You don't get your graduation back from high school. You don't get your junior high graduation back, or, the opportunity to freaking go to your grandma's funeral, for heaven's sakes. I mean, when you want to look at the things that are at the core of what was taken away from American individuals, but our kids, we have no idea how that's going to manifest itself in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And I think people need to be aware of that. The question at hand right now is who believes in freedom and who will fight to keep it and fortify it, and who thinks that they can do it better than you can. There's a distinct answer to that question. One's blue, one's red. We're going to take a quick break. More discussion about this when we come back, and would love to have you join us as well. You can follow us on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. We're creeping up to 3,000 subscriptions there on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Would love to have you be one of them. Would you join us there and say hi? Tell us where you're listening from, especially if you're in the 314 today, because that's a thing. Unless you're a math teacher who's in St. Louis, then it's like your day, Pi Day on St. Louis Day. Come say hi. $2.24 right now. Donate your card or Goodwill. Get 2022 Cardinal tickets at mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Cardinals. More conversation in a minute. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. 97.1 FM Talk. Uncensored discussion that's free in more ways than one. This is where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk, right here, right now.
Looking to buy or sell a home in the Metro East, Jen Teskey is just a gem of a person. Super, super good at selling homes in that area. If you are in Edwardsville, Glen Carbon, Maryville, Troy, Collinsville, that whole area and extension, and you are looking to sell your home, you want the Jen Teskey team because she surrounded herself with the best in the business to help people just like you sell your home and sell it fast. She knows exactly how to position your home and all of the things that come along with its the benefits of living in that house, in that location, with that neighborhood or lack of a neighborhood. She's the best. Jen Teskey is waiting for your phone call to get the conversation started. If you just want to check in and see, we're kind of thinking about selling. We don't know how fast we'd be able to sell or how much work we'd have to do or what we could get from it. Jen can have that conversation with you, and she can put her entire team behind your home to get it sold for top dollar and fast. Jen Teskey with RE/MAX Alliance. You can give her a call. I'm going to give you the number 2 times here. Type it into your phone, 618-541-1010. That's 618-541-1010.
Find podcasts for your passions on Odyssey.
Like the documentary series Love Thy Neighbor about the 1991 Crown Heights riots.
It was an accident which other people used as an excuse to murder one member of our community.
Or The 11th.
Bringing you true, unexpected stories.
And experience the new podcast movie thriller Ghostwriter.
Starring Kate Mara and Adam Scott.
Maybe it's not a whodunit. If we know who the killer is all along, the real mystery is why.
Find all the podcasts that matter to you in a universe of audio.
Odyssey.
It's a no-brainer why you should get CarShield. They make it easy and affordable to protect your car from expensive repairs. Mark Cox here. CarShield offers protection plans for around $100 a month and covers more parts than ever before. When you need a repair, you choose the mechanic. CarShield's administrators handle the rest. No paperwork or headaches. Plans through CarShield include coast-to-coast roadside assistance, rental cars, trip reimbursement at no extra cost. CarShield has helped millions of drivers. That's why they're America's #1 car protection company. Lock in your price today. It'll never go up. As long as you own your car, no matter how old it is, you're protected from the rising cost of parts or repairs. Go to carshield.com/Cox or call 800-391-8888 to save 10% on your plan and lock in your pricing forever. That's carshield.com/Cox to save 10%. A deductible may apply.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-342-2054. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-342-2054. 800-342-2054. 800-342-2054.
The Bommarito Automotive Group is proud to be partnering with Tax Slayer on and off the track, and you're the winner. Purchase any new or pre-owned vehicle from Bommarito and receive complimentary federal tax filing with Tax Slayer. Or visit Bommarito.com for 50% off Tax Slayer's filing service. File fearlessly with Tax Slayer. A better experience, a better price. Go with the automotive leader, Bommarito, Missouri's #1 automotive group. Open 24/7 at Bommarito.com.
They sing for the best. My reputation's never been worse, so you must like me for me. We can't make any promises now, can we, babe? But you can make me.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
On the east side, where you at? Phone lights up and
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Keep going, Twitter. I'm finishing a Wordle
Me
here.
too. How far in are you?
I only did one word.
I only did one too, and I have one letter correct and one letter that is in the wrong spot.
I have 2 correct letters.
Ooh,
No, I have 2 letters that are
in the wrong
word.
spot.
I wonder how long we could get away for just going.
I know.
While we do Wordle. What do you want to talk about, Brad?
You have play the longest sound
Not
you
Wordle.
can find.
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when I need time, I just look for the time on the end and I play that clip and talk about it. Not very
Ooh,
often.
I have a good idea. Oh, no, that's not it.
Do you do Wordle, Brad?
No.
I don't like. I think I kind of do now. It's worked its way in, but I refuse to share it with the public.
It's really great because it's one a day. If there were more, you'd burn out.
I don't think I would.
Really?
I would solve all of them.
but I mean, you as a person,
Yeah.
after 3 weeks of playing it nonstop, you'd be like, okay.
Well, I wouldn't play it nonstop, but it would fill my extra time, which is at night when I can't sleep. I know I shouldn't be on my phone. I try that. I will put my phone on the nightstand for like an hour and just lay there, pray all the prayers, plan my next day. And I'm like, there's so much information on that phone. And it's just right over there.
And so much fun
And
with
Wordle.
games. Have you ever gotten blue light glasses?
I have a ton of blue light glasses.
Have you ever gotten all light glasses?
Huh?
As in they filter
A
all
mask?
light. Yes.
I do. I have
All light
I have a face mask that I can wear, and I also have a mask that goes around my whole head and it has Bluetooth speakers in it so that I can lay there and listen to like ambiance type of music to try to put me to sleep, or audiobooks if I don't know. I've tried it all. Melatonin.
But your mind keeps going, right?
I can't
What's
stop.
the one that just completely knocks you out? There's a pill that I can't remember the name of it.
Nitol.
No.
I was going to say cocaine, but
I
that's the
was
opposite.
going to say
That's the other-
Vicodin, but that's not it either.
Vicodin does it. That's what I take for migraines. I get like maybe 3 or 4 migraines a year, and that'll do the trick. It's like bye family.
Yeah.
See you in a few. Chaz STL on Twitch, I might add. Hi, Twitch.
Yay.
You can follow us at Annie Frey Show on Twitch, and every once in a while you'll see Brad and I trying to play video games on there, and you can help us troubleshoot the thing. Like, was it Phil? Was it our friend Phil that was doing
I think
that?
it was Phil. Yeah.
He says melatonin. I do take melatonin. I have melatonin for my kids, and those are 1 milligram per gummy or whatever it is. I had the same kind for me that was sometimes they're 5, sometimes they're 6, sometimes they're 10. And I don't have any that are mine right now. And so I just have the 1 milligram. So I'm just like shaking out the thing, like just like eat half of the bottle to try to make me go to sleep. I don't know. I've thought about going to see a sleep doctor.
You probably should. I mean, if you've tried all those things and
Oh my
nothing's
gosh.
worked, it's probably time.
But you should kind of be able to understand what I'm saying here. I have 4 kids. I work, my husband works. I almost feel like part of this is just going to be solved with time. If I make it that long.
Yeah, but you have a baby, so
Ambien?
that's going to be a long time.
Were you thinking of Ambien?
That is it. Yeah. Does that work?
Haven't tried it.
Supposedly that works for people that nothing works for.
Chris on Facebook says you're on the Illinois side, go to a dispensary.
That's also true.
I'm not going to lie. I've never ingested any type of cannabis in my entire life. They made it legal, and I know people who use that to relax and to help them go to sleep. And I've talked to my husband about it, and we're kind of like, is that something I should do or not do? And I don't know. I don't know. Is it, in your opinion? And I'm going to say this. Weed is legal in the state of Illinois, so I'm not here to debate whether it should or shouldn't be legal. I have like zero opinion on it because I could pick a side and advocate super strongly for it being legal and for it not being legal. My research on it, which I don't really know what I'm talking about when it comes to weed, is that I really feel like alcohol is more dangerous than weed. And I don't feel like I can have one opinion on alcohol and a different opinion on weed and not be somewhat hypocritical. But I don't want people to abuse alcohol. And we have laws that keep people from abusing, that punish people for abusing alcohol. And I guess we have that for people who abuse weed. It just seems like there's a different outcome. I'm uneducated on it. And I don't know. I feel like the weed conversation is so generational. Like our parents' generation will always have one view of weed. our generation, the Gen Xers, is there's a shift in that. I think the generation below us is going to be like, whatever.
And I know for sure that I have the boomer view on it. And I don't even know. I'm with you. I don't even know really why, if somebody wants to argue against my traditional view of it being a drug, I'm like, I'm completely willing to listen. I have no opinion other than what's been told to me.
I mean, for me, and listen, I can't stress enough how much I'm not advocating for anything here. I'm just basically talking out loud, and I'm kind of afraid to do it because I know that there are people on both sides
Everybody gets
who
animated.
are super passionate about it, and I don't know enough to advocate one way or the other for it. So I have these questions. This is the way I think a lot of people probably feel about politics in general, but they're too afraid to ask the question because they don't want the wrong side to go, "What are you talking about? You're the biggest idiot ever." They don't say anything. They don't ask. When it comes to weed, I feel like it's a natural substance. And if I'm going to sit here and take Ambien and it's going to do for me what weed would do for me, why is Ambien better for me than cannabis would be? That is an honest question that I don't have the answer to, especially if people are having a glass of wine at night, or if you want to have a beer with dinner or a margarita or something like that. I mean, that's something that people participate in and enjoy, and sometimes will alter their state of mind to some extent, even without necessarily abusing it. Why not cannabis? I don't know. And again, I say this as somebody who's never ever had any experience with it whatsoever, other than maybe some people who lived on my wing when I was an RA in college. You know who you are. Some of you might be listening.
My kids just had an experience with it walking through the mall this weekend.
Did they really?
They were like, "Dad, what's that flower smell?"
Flower?
I was like, "That's not really a flower.
It's grass."
That's that's California grass, kids, or Illinois grass now.
It is a bud.
Sure.
Blues fan on YouTube says if you take Ambien, you got to stay off social media. It makes you completely lose your filter.
Well, apparently that's true because that's what Roseanne did. That's how she lost her job.
And that one representative from Tennessee, was it? Or Kentucky, just recently, she said she I can't believe we haven't talked about this yet, but she, I think, had a sleepover at her house. Her kids had a sleepover at her house, and she, I think, took maybe some Ambien and drank some wine and started went off on these kids, and it became
yelled
a
at
whole
them
thing.
or something else.
No,
okay,
not like that, but it I don't know. I'll Google it. I'll do a
give
full
me the
report.
proper report on it.
It's bad. It's like she had to say, "I'm going to take some time away." Bad.
Wow.
She's running for office.
Well,
of course.
Just knowing what I do know about Ambien and about marijuana, I don't think marijuana is going to help you go to sleep. If you tried that many things, I don't think that's going to be your solution. However, I do think Ambien might be, because that's what it's for, is just insomnia.
He just wants you to tweet without a filter.
I want you to.
He wants my job. This is sabotage.
Chris, if you do marijuana, I want to make sure that you do let me watch you watching Through a Mirror Darkly. You got to watch a weed movie while you're taking it.
Was that
weird.
the creepiest thing that he's ever said on this show?
Yeah. Let me watch you.
I guess what I'm saying is, I just want to see if you experience.
If I were ever to partake in the devil's lettuce, it could be the best fundraiser ever. It would have nothing to do with people who I know professionally. There are so many people in my private life who would pay top dollar to be there when I smoke weed or do whatever it is that you do. People are texting me right now.
You need to, if you do it, make it a big fundraiser for a really good cause, because you're going to raise a lot of money.
Is Ambien prescription?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
So
I think it's controlled.
Yeah.
I think that I was prescribed Ambien one time, and stupid insurance, man. Whenever this happens to me in my house, I get so enraged. I have to not talk about it on the air because I become irrational about it. But when you go to your doctor and they're like, "Here's what you need for your medical problem," and then you go to pick it up and they're like, "Oh, insurance denied it." And then you call insurance, they're like, "You need to take blah blah blah." I'm like, well, why the hell am I going to my doctor? Why don't I just call you and tell you what my problems are? Right. And then I'll take what you tell me I'm supposed to get. I'm paying insurance premiums every freaking paycheck, and the doctor says this is what I need to do. But no, you've got, every time I was pregnant and barfing every freaking day, the doctor prescribed me something that finally helped me to an extent, at least manage. And when I came back and got pregnant again, because, when I went to the doctor again and was puking again. He's like, last time we did diclegis was the name of the drug. Nope, you need to take this. And they wanted me to try 4 things. I said, I've done this before. I've done the whole thing. This helps me. And my doctor said, this is what I should take. And like hormonal pregnant, excuse me, while I barf Annie was not emotionally stable on that. Like if I ever run for office or something, and you know how they tell you at the beginning, like we may record this commercial or this conversation for that's going to come up in a campaign ad against me. And I'm not gonna get elected, or maybe I will. Maybe my platform will be reforming the insurance agency.
You're pretty worked up about it. You know what would help with that?
Ambien?
No, just smoke a little weed.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, anybody got any? But I'm pretty sure that there are people in this building who do right now.
And I'm pretty sure the people in this room do not.
I was gonna say, Brad. Look,
But
you're not denying it. I
if
like
we're
it.
on in the hallways out there, somebody's going to come running in here pretty soon.
Any of the stations out there? I don't know who's Reardon.
I mean, clearly KMOX, right?
Let's just slowly stroll around the building here and be like, do you think they have any weed?
Just walk into the newsroom and be like, hey, you guys hitting it tonight? Or, like, what's up?
I'm going to profile. I think a lot. Well, that's the thing. I honestly do think a lot more people use it than you. I think we would be surprised by how many people. Not, it's not like everyone's sitting around passing around a joint. That's not. That's not like the realistic post legalization world. I love how many people are texting me right now. Like, if you do smoke weed, I will help you.
All of those people probably smoke and you didn't know it.
Oh no, I knew all of these people.
Oh, okay.
And it's not all smoking.
They're trying to recruit you. They're like, come over to our side. We have potato chips.
People,
and Funyuns.
Fritos. People who use cannabis. It's like asking me, Annie, we were thinking about taking a Disney World vacation. And I'm like, sit down and let me talk to you right now about what you need to do. Blah, 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 blah. You're like, I'm thinking of, I don't know. I think maybe some pot brownie. Let's sit down. Let me tell you about it. Yeah, it's probably not that fast. It's probably a lot slower.
Now, here's the problem. When you do that to me, I go, you love it a little too much.
Yeah. Something about this has really got you.
Yeah.
You're talking about that like I talk about gummy bears.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their thing, and when you become self-aware enough, you notice that people just like slowly start to back away.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, that thing right now. I'll get back to you on that. I'll send you a text or an email and ask you about it. You can send me your info on it, and then they leave. They don't give you the chance to go, oh, and another thing.
Yeah. And I was also thinking about trying CrossFit. I don't know about that though. Somebody let me know if I should try it.
Example.
Yeah.
Slow clap. For
Thank
CrossFit.
you. None of us in the room apparently do CrossFit.
I have done CrossFit. Have you ever done CrossFit?
No. I met the world leader of CrossFit
I would like to see you
once.
try.
I didn't even know what it was. They're like, this girl's a huge deal. Like, I don't know what CrossFit is. Okay. Not the greatest story to end on, but
it's just a casual thing. It's great if you can do it. I'd rather box. I could talk a little bit more about that on the other end of the break. Stick around, more Annie Frey Show. When we come back, we'll wrap this up and hand it over to Mark Reardon. I can't imagine they'll be talking about less important things than we are here on the Annie Frey Show. You can download the Odyssey app and stream us anywhere you go. Find 97.1 FM Talk right there. Heart, favorite, whatever it is, the station. Make sure you subscribe to this Annie Frey Show podcast. Back in a minute.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. The Mark Reardon Show.
Who's going to be the DH for the Cardinals? How about Waino? Let's start with that.
There's only one name that should be on the short list of DHs for the Cardinals. Albert Pujols. There you go. Pujols, Wainwright, Molina.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
hey, this is Ryan Wiggins. If you are anything like me, you always have a list a mile long of things that you have to get done, things you're planning. And mostly it controls you, but there are things you can control. Going to the dentist is one of those things that I know it's on your list that you got to make an appointment, but just do it every 6 months. Have a rolling rotation of it. We have 5 people in my family, my wife and 3 kids. So we never have time to think, oh, did I make my dental appointment? We just have it every 6 months. And that's easy to do at Fountains Family Dentistry. They take care of you. They also let you know 2 weeks ahead of time, hey, just a reminder by text, you have this appointment coming up. And then probably the day ahead, they'll do the same thing. Our calendar's so full, we may even overlook it, or it's not on one of our calendars because they never sync up right. You know how that goes. They do general dentistry, which means your cleanings, your typical stuff that you do have to have maintenance to get done. Fountains Family Dentistry is in Fairview Heights, Illinois. FountainSFamilyDentistry.com.
If your business has accounting problems, you probably have tax problems. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Running a small business is tough, and it's no surprise that companies that don't keep good books often run into tax issues. If you don't fix your accounting problems, you could be doomed to land in the same tax pitfalls every year. Call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I can help you get out of tax trouble and stay out. If your small business doesn't have a CPA or accountant, I can help you find one. And if you already have one, I work closely with them to resolve your tax problems quickly. Make no mistake, if the numbers don't add up, the IRS will catch it. Fix your accounting and tax problems before they snowball with help from the Lance Drury Law Firm. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
Hi, Jason Bauman here with Three Rivers Waterproofing. We offer two-part epoxy crack injections, drain systems, sump pumps, pits, bowing walls, sinking walls, replacement of patios, porches, driveways, expansion joints from street creep. We also offer a lifetime warranty that is fully transferable to the next homeowner at no charge. Give us a call at Three Rivers Waterproofing at 636-287-2098 or find us online at threeriverswaterproofing.com. Three Rivers Waterproofing, where we specialize in wet cracks.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studios. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 53 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Bringing you up-to-the-minute traffic like nobody else. Sue Thomas and dependable traffic, driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
I was toting my pack along the dusty Winnemucca Road when along came a semi with a high and canvas covered load. If you're going to Winnemucca Mac with me, you can ride. And so I climbed into the cab and then I settled down inside. He asked me if I'd seen a road with so much dust and sand, and I said, listen, I've traveled every road in this here land.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Man. I've been everywhere, man.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
I breathe the mountain air, man. I travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
All right, someone in this room is a liar. Do you?
Yeah, it's Brad.
I'm not a liar.
Do you know what you're talking about?
I think so.
You said that this song is about Johnny Cash being a murderer.
Yes.
Or the character being a murderer.
The character, yeah. Yeah.
And I said, are you talking about Folsom Prison Blues?
No.
Said, no. And Ryan, you said you thought the song was about
traveling. I mean, what else? It's just about going places, isn't it?
Can somebody please flood the Annie Frey YouTube channel right now with advice on what this song is actually about? I'm with you, Ryan, this time. I'm Team Ryan.
So, well, you laughed at me, but I'm right.
Because it's so basic. But I'm
It's
like, yeah,
about
me too.
Traveling.
I don't want to be duped and be like, oh, I didn't know it was really about something.
Every song that seems like it's simple is always about something more important.
Especially in the 90s.
That song was in the 90s?
I know that. I'm saying especially songs that were from the 90s. Like, they are songs I grew up with, and I could sing all the words. Sometimes I'll get halfway through them, and I'll be like, what am I talking about?
Mm-hmm. It's amazing how it doesn't click when you're a high school kid, though, or younger. I guess it shouldn't click until you're a high school kid, at least, though.
You want to talk more about weed?
Heck yeah, let's talk about some guns.
So I can't... Kurt Warner would be so disappointed in you right now. I can't sleep. Everybody knows I can't sleep. It is the other thing is that there's a part of me that thinks if I would sleep like a normal human being, that I would lose. I work essentially from about, I don't know, Brad, 11 to 2, 3 in the morning.
In the morning?
Yeah. I mean,
Brad doesn't know. He's asleep.
But he gets the.
Are you saying 11 at night to 2 in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure. Sometimes 4.
She's not saying she works here from 11 to 2 only.
No.
If that's
why the 2 o'clock hour sounds like this.
Yeah.
Well,
a lot of show prep ahead of time, and then it's all exhausted by 2.
I only have till 2, and then we just do this.
You know, the Annie Frey show close plays, the door opens, Annie heads on out, and the first thing she's got to go pick up her kids, and then she's just going. And I don't hear from you probably at the earliest until about 7 or 8 o'clock, unless there's just something major. And then from that point, as the evening goes on,
so sorry,
you start giving. Well, no, I'd rather have it the morning before, so I know exactly what I need to do the next day. And I don't have any problem sleeping, so I just set my phone on the charger.
Yeah, and I've told you that those messages in the middle of the night. I'm creating. You know, Brad is the one who's in charge of cultivating all the sound. I have a show sheet here with 17 cuts of audio, of which how many of these did I send you, and how many do you pull? I mean, on an average day,
5 today, but sometimes you give me all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we try to have 15 to 20
on those really late nights.
Yeah, which I don't mind because that's a lot easier than I just come in and I'm just going to pull these and I don't have to find it.
I feel like if I slept, that I would lose my superpower. But I also feel like if I don't sleep, I might go crazy. So
yeah, which one's going to catch you first?
Double-edged sword.
Yeah, but you never know what you're going to be like when you do sleep. That might be a superpower. You might be able to do more, and because you're not dragging from being tired. So
I don't know what it's like. Getting out of bed is the worst part of my entire day, bar none. And every night when I crawl into bed, I'm like, oh, why didn't I do this earlier? This is so nice. And then I lay there awake thinking about how nice it is for 4 or 5 hours. Andy on Facebook says you are very, very sharp. Thank you. Maybe. I would question if weed and booze would slowly lessen your sharpness. I don't booze. Like, I will have a cocktail drink socially sometimes, but I don't. I'd rather have a soda or water or something like that.
I wouldn't mind seeing you become pretty hard into alcohol.
Ryan,
you're a horrible person.
Ryan,
you're a horrible person, Ryan.
I just for a short time to see if it helped her sleep. That's what I'm saying. No. That's what I'm saying.
See, Ryan just said that to me, and he is trying to play it off like it's for what's best for me. Laugh into the microphone if you think it's so funny. Don't move your face from the microphone and laugh silently with your shoulders bouncing up and down like you're the funniest Kurt Warner in the room.
I'm not laughing. I'm trying to be helpful.
I almost said.
Can't even keep a straight face.
That's as close as I've been in a long time from saying a bad word on the air. Right in that moment, I went.
That'd have been my first dump.
Do you know what to do?
Yep.
Should we test it?
Brad, never.
Say that again, Ryan. Let me go. This is a good time to be on the live stream because you get to hear it in its glory. Earmuffs.
That'd be my first dump.
Yeah, that's one that you realize you were saying whenever you're in the middle of saying it.
A lot of people talking about how addictive Ambien is.
Yeah, once you started, I think you're
on it.
You're on it, yeah. But everybody who has a lot of trouble sleeping say it works.
Chris on Facebook says maybe try giving everyone else in your house melatonin. Already doing it. I mean, we give 2 of our kids like 1 milligram of melatonin a night, and it does the trick. Because otherwise, do your kids come out of bed like 8 times?
Well, in the first half hour, yes. And then if it's like the spring forward, it just kills your sleep cycle, especially with kids.
Go to bed. Mom, it's 6 o'clock.
Yes.
I don't care.
So last night was kind of rough, but for the most part, we give them about a half hour to an hour of, okay, are they actually asleep or not? Because they will come down. But after that, no, they're done.
I'm getting a lot of messages about weed helping with other medical problems, including seizures, which I don't have. But I just feel like there's a lot of, to what you were saying, the older generation, like they've either been doing it for decades or it is not happening. I feel like our generation is in a place where we want to, what you want to talk about this? You come in and talk about this.
Come on in.
I got 2 minutes.
Please.
Come in here.
Educate us.
D to the C wearing a 314-day sweatshirt. What do you know, sir?
Good afternoon, people.
Hello.
Did everybody eat?
Yes. Emo's Pizza.
Do you know what we're talking about?
Right now?
Yeah.
I just crashed your party.
Oh, you don't even know. Okay.
I'm talking about my lack of sleep, D. I don't sleep. If I'm asleep by 1 a.m., that is early. But I go to bed often at between 10 and midnight. But I'll be up till 4 a.m. some nights. And some people were suggesting that I should smoke, or not smoke, but use cannabis.
What?
We want to know. What? We want to know whether she should.
I live in the state of Illinois, and it's
legal.
Accessible.
Should she do it?
Well, your expression changed when you found out it was legal.
Let me add to this, D, that I have never consumed cannabis in any form ever in my entire life.
Stay a virgin.
Yeah?
Okay.
Oh, okay. I respect that. Brad, you haven't really weighed in.
You know where I'm at on this is
I will add too, D, that Ryan just said before he'd like to see me get really heavy into booze.
For her benefit.
That's a whole nother ballgame.
No, which I am not into and don't endorse.
Oh man, I missed the out for the show.
50 or it is 57.50, right?
56.
We have to cut it hard.
Yep.
Ready?
Should we talk about it tomorrow?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
We can talk about it more.
Yeah.
Thanks, D. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Happy St. Louis Day.
Yes. 314.
It's so funny that you came in right then. You were just telling us to go eat.
And not to smoke weed.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. All right. We'll see you tomorrow, Margarine. Coming up next.
I think it's funny when I drink too much.
Lakeside Renovation and Design, online at lakesidерenovationanddesign.com. That's where you go to get your Infinity from Marvin fiberglass window replacement. When you are looking for the very, very best, what you need to do is go with the very best. The Infinity from Marvin fiberglass window replacements that you can have at your house to get rid of those drafty windows that are recently been letting the air that you're heating out of your house. Pretty soon it's going to be letting the air that you're cooling out of the house, which is kind of a fun thing to think about in a weird way. Infinity trusts Lakeside Renovation and Design to install their top quality product. I think that's a good reason why you can trust in Lakeside Renovation and Design to install your product, because listen, they're the best of the best. When you are looking for somebody to do your home renovation project, look no further than Lakeside. Find them online at lakesidерenovationanddesign.com.
Odyssey celebrates Women's History Month.
Serena Williams is one of the most dominating tennis players of all time, and she's still making her mark. She won a whopping 23 Grand Slam singles titles and is the only American ever to win more than 20 majors. She was named the AP's Female Athlete of the Decade for the 2010s and the Tennis Channel's greatest women's tennis player of all